A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Conflict Within, Episode 2, Shadows of the Past, Session 9. The galaxy is on the precipice of disaster. Following their victory at Dantooine, the Sith fleet have made their way to Nal Hutta. They are now facing the same problem that Katra once faced herself, the unequaled planetary defenses of the Hutt homeworld. Unable to successfully invade, the Sith have settled in to siege the planet. With the Sith fleet raining fire upon Nal Hutta, one of the Mandalorians' last hopes for securing more aid against the Empire is dwindling. Not content to leave Crimson Dawn to its fate, our heroes rush to Nal Hutta with the entirety of the Mandalorian armada as they aim to strike a decisive blow against the Sith. Dropping out of hyperspace a stone's throw from Nal Hutta, the Mandalorian armada is prepared to jump into the battle at a moment's notice. First, however, Nal Hutta must be alerted to our heroes' arrival, lest the planetary defenses open fire upon them as well. All right, so you have all dropped out of hyperspace one system over from Nal Hutta. It's, as I talked about last time, all ships, depending on the hyperdrive, can move at different speeds. It takes some time for your ships to all gather in this system over, but you are so close to Nal Hutta at this point that at this range, you would jump almost simultaneously. You will all make it into the system together. This is basically looked at a staging point is where you're standing now. There is a problem that you've been alerted to by Ozzy. She has let you know that with no communications able to go in or out of Nal Hutta, you have not received any word from them, and nor have you been able to get a communication through. They have no way of knowing your transponder codes, which means that the automated planetary defenses will open fire upon you as well as soon as you get into the system. You need to solve that issue. You have to get your transponder codes first to the Crimson Dawn so that they can know not to shoot at you. Okay, and that's where we're going to pick up. It's been about a day at this point since we last left off. Sifu has been aboard her ship. It's been your first day apart from her since she has joined your party, but she has been bringing her ship over. She has also been there with Grandmaster Vandar, who has been working with her on future visions and how to not fall to the dark side to them. But yeah, you guys have a moment now while all the ships are kind of gathering up to figure out what you want to do.
How long are transponder codes?
How big are they?
Like, is it like we'd have to be like, all right, here's, a zip folder with all of them in there?
Yeah,
or if we could get a message across.
It's not like 5955. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's a pretty long code. Yeah, so you're going to have to actually get onto the planet probably and hand them over. Normally you would just transmit them through, but as you saw at Dantooine and as you saw, or as they were seeing at Terrace, these Sith ships have some way of blocking all communications.
Yep. Okay. If no one
one
has any bright ideas, then I'll get it done.
I need a check for your D100 roll, and I need your Destiny pool.
All right. Is a 40 bad?
It's not great.
Can I re-roll?
No. Did you roll a 40?
You're not allowed to roll anymore, sir.
All right. 40. That is going to trigger Galvin's Obsession. So Galvin, take 2 strain. You have become obsessed with working on this anti-Bacta that you've been working on. Even the droid, who's all about it, is kind of like, you should probably sleep occasionally. But yes.
Oh, we all get 1 permastrain as well?
Yes, you all get 1 permastrain. Galvin gets 2. All right, and someone, did we get I need 5 force die rolled in the Conflict Within channel.
How about we let Chris do it since he wasn't here?
Oh, not bad, Raven. All right.
Nice. See, that's how you do it.
All right, so 5 light side, 3 dark side. You also have 2 extra light side because you have 2 light side aligned people with you.
So 7 light side. Nice.
You also have 1 extra dark side.
Why?
Because there is some darkness as well.
What? It's not me, and Sifu rolled better than I did last time.
Yeah, but she started way lower than you, too.
But she should still be not in darkness.
Interesting. 4, and you guys have rolled what? 5. You get 2 more, so 7. So it's 7-4. This is one of the largest Destiny pools I have ever seen. All right. So very nice. Yep. You guys are now trying to figure out what do.
All right. Well,
during
Galvin,
this time,
you're smart. Sorry.
during this time, it would be safe to say you could dock with Sifu's ship. So you could go up to her ship, or she could come down onto yours at the moment.
So we do that unless the Mandalore has any reason not to.
I was going to leave that up to you because I figure you're piloting, so.
All right, then sure. Yeah, we dock.
All right. So basically, Sifu's ship basically pulls in overneath yours, and normally this would be used to like pass cargo through 2 ships. You have a smuggler's ship. It is sometimes you have to do pickups in deep space, so that's what this is typically for. But you could also just as easily move a person through there. So yeah, Sifu slides down the umbilical port and drops onto the Razorback.
So the communications that the Sith fleet is stopping, is that just interstellar, or if we were around the planet, would we be able to get communications out that way?
You remember from Dantooine, it was everything. Once
Everything,
they were there, for whatever reason, you couldn't get anything out.
Okay.
It's the same. It's the reason they were able to broadcast your message, Isla's message from of you without it being interrupted.
Sure. Okay. Well, Galvin's a smart guy, smart kid. Mandalore knows things as well, so I'm sure that if I fuck up what I'm about to do in the next, let's say, 5 hours, hopefully, you can come up with a better plan.
Galvin.
I mean, like, am I? You said I was like, I'd basically be like obsessed with working on this thing, so I'd be down in my.
We look over and Galvin hasn't slept in like 48 hours.
Galvin is still down in his lab. Even Ellie
Galvin.
is just like, you gonna like sleep at some point?
Yeah. Raven's going to bring whatever the Star Wars equivalent of coffee is with her when she goes down to visit Galvin.
Neurostim.
Blue milk.
Blue milk and neurostim.
I assume. Do we still have the that small ship that I piloted? Is that something?
The Z? Yeah, the Z95. Yeah. I mean, it's still around. I don't know. You're not in it at the moment. You're in your ship.
Right. So it's not something that's like, we park in the cargo bay or something like that.
In terms of the serum, would I be able to say work on it in the capacity that I had like talked to you about before?
Yeah, you've been working. You and an M3 have been working on it pretty diligently over the last day or two. You've run into some problems with exactly what you want it to do, because if memory serves, you're trying to get it that it cuts people off from the Force.
Emotions, to cut people's emotions off, I think is what we were trying to do with it, right?
Yeah, to make it an anti-dark side weapon, effectively.
Yeah.
It's kind of working, but all tests that you run on it show that it is accompanied by insanity. So it's not quite where you want it to be to use it on people yet. I mean, unless you want them insane, in which case.
I mean, you could argue the Sith are already insane.
Yeah, this is more like the gibbering, like nonsensical insane now. Notably, M3 is like, I don't see the problem.
All right, Galvin, I'm gonna need you to put down the Poison Project for like 10 minutes. Talk to Mandalore and the rest of them. In case I get blown up, you need to figure out a way to get these docking codes to Dantooine. No. Tatooine? No. Where are we at? Where are we going?
Nal
Hutta.
Nal Hutta.
Wait.
You used to work there. You've been there a number of times.
Yep, Nal Hutta.
What about docking codes? We need docking codes? What do you mean?
No, we have docking codes. We need Nal Hutta to get our docking codes so that when we show up to fight the Sith, the Crimson Dawn don't shoot us out of the air first.
Wait, why can't we get the docking codes? What's wrong with getting the docking codes?
No, we have the docking codes. We need to get it to them, but the Sith are causing the frequency that jams everything, remember?
Oh, why don't we just get rid of the jam?
Do you know how to do that?
I will look into it. Let's see. We'll go to a terminal and see if I can maybe track the source of the.
I mean,
Can
the
this
source
be
is
when
like
Raven shows up with caffeine?
I assume you were here. I assume that the source is probably somewhere in the Sith fleet.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming from a number of the Sith ships in the fleet.
Okay, so it's not like a one particular source; it's multiple sources.
Yeah, it basically, so you know that there's a number of different classes of destroyer. Anyone that's on a dreadnought or higher class appears to have this communications jammer. You can tell they got about 6 of them.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's out of the question. Okay. Yeah. What was your plan again?
Oh, I was just gonna take the Z95. That's what it was called?
It's a Z95, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna get in the Z95 and just fly down there and give them to him myself. But if that doesn't work and I get blown up, you need a backup plan.
Sifu kind of glances over at you. No, not a good plan. Z95s have the armor plating of tissue paper.
I didn't say it was a good plan, but it's the only plan we have.
Okay,
And
I
don't
propose
need
we do
armor if you don't get hit. Something I thought Jedis knew, but your battle to the death the other day proves otherwise.
Okay, I got you. How about we do exactly that plan in this ship that has better engines and armor?
But then if we get blown up, we all die.
I mean, if we don't get the communications or we don't get this transponder down to them, we're all going to die anyway.
Raven's kind of
What
nodding
if-
like she has a point.
What if we switch the transponders between this ship and the Z95 so when we come out, and I assume the lady in waiting probably can recognize this ship?
Well, it will recognize it when you see it, maybe, or one of the officers will just shoot at you. I don't know. I mean, here's the good thing. Your ship, as it is, probably isn't going to get shot at by, like, the Star Destroyer class ships. It's too small. Like, if it did happen to catch you, it would tear the ship in half. But, like, Star Destroyer class ships don't fight you with their, like, turbo lasers unless you're literally running the length of them. They send out their dog fighters to fight you.
All their TIE fighters. Yeah.
Right. So if your goal is to run the blockade, take the fastest ship you have and try to run the blockade. I mean,
Is there
and I tell you that song because you're a smuggler. You've run a blockade
Right.
before.
Is there any way, just to give us a little bit of added protection, Galvin, that you might be able to use some sort of program or device to scramble, them detecting us as well? I know we don't have straight up cloaking. Maybe we could just sort of broadcast some sort of, signal blast. You know what? Okay, here's what I want to do.
Ooh,
Galvin,
actually,
he's referring to a comm buoy or to a dummy buoy, which this ship is equipped with.
Or we could send me in the Z95 as a distraction with me not actually being in the Z95.
You were thinking, like, rig it up to be, like, remote control?
Mm-hmm. And then if we can ping a recording or even a live feed of me through the Z95 to the lady in waiting, then I can at least have them looking elsewhere for a moment while I talk shit to my daughter.
We can see if we can work something up there.
All right. Okay. Galvin.
Whichever of those two things you think is going to work.
Galvin, make a mechanics check, difficulty 3. And Song, I need to know what you want to put on a recording that your daughter may see.
So it would have to be a recording. We wouldn't be able to, just...
You could, but then you run the risk of them picking up the broadcast to it.
Fair enough. All right, yeah, let's just see if we could use a dummy buoy to jam as much of their systems as possible.
Or you could just, throw the droid in there.
Question: Is this just rigging something up, or would I be having to make something in order to accomplish this?
So this ship is equipped with a dummy buoy. You're just going to load it in the torpedo bay and fire it out. And as soon as you see them scramble their fighters to go chase after it, you are going to punch it towards the planet's surface.
All right.
I will say if that's all you're doing, it's a difficulty 1 check for you, Galvin. You can handle this.
Yeah, I think we should probably be better to just use the dummy buoy, so we're not wasting a precious ship on this
Sure,
decoy.
that's fine.
Okay. So difficulty 1 mechanics check, Galvin, just to rig the dummy buoy and get it set up in the torpedo bay.
B is blue, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, K is black.
I just
But wait, black doesn't have a
God.
The jokes that never die.
Classic.
2 success, 1 advantage,
Wow.
and a triumph. Okay. So you do succeed in getting it, and I will say for your triumph, you are also able to boost the signal of the dummy buoy. They will be a little bit more enthralled by it. So when we make our planetary piloting or our space piloting check to try to run the blockade, there will be a upgrade on that. You'll have a free upgrade.
Do you remember? This is going to be a deep cut for anybody who isn't a old LBR fan. Do you remember the song that we played to make Gordor laugh hysterically?
No.
It
the
was
cat
a
yes.
song. It was a song that was made out of the sound of cats mating.
Oh, I do remember this. Never mind. Yep. Okay.
I download the Wookiee equivalent of that to blast across this conbuoy.
I have no words.
Stampaka provides the vocals, I'm sure. Okay, you download a compilation of Kashyyyk in the springtime. Stampaka immediately is like, oof, okay then, and put it on, and what comes out of that is a sound. I can only imagine it being similar to what the noise that would be made if you stepped on Aloy's tail, Robbie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not great. So it is loaded up, and
it has reverberation on it as well. I just do a quick filter on it so it reverberates the entire time.
Raven, who are you leaving in charge of the fleet here, and what are their instructions?
Okay, Sifu's coming with us, right? At least that
she-
seems to be her plan.
She certainly wants to.
Probably whatever highest ranking of Shige's guards.
Fair enough. Okay. Song, as you come back upstairs, Sifu is literally in the process of like gearing up to be like groundside and ready to go.
We have this talk.
She kind of glances. Maybe. I just
What
feel
would
like
you say your
I could-
responsibility is to?
The Mandalorians.
And so you coming down with us, not that I don't want you there. But as leader of Clan Rook, is that what you think your best what? I'm asking. This is you're a leader now. You're in charge of an entire clan. Whatever you say goes. Just make sure it's the right decision.
Oh, why don't you just tell me you're just disappointed? Ugh.
I'm not disappointed yet.
Oh damn!
She looks down. Mandalore, until such time as you return, I volunteer to take command of the fleet.
Granted.
I salute Sifu. Good decision, Clan Leader Rook.
Ugh. Grandmaster Vandar looks over and nods. Then I will also stay. He kind of gives an almost worried look towards Daenerys.
I'm just gonna kind of give him the same look because I have no idea what to expect.
Did I clock that worried look?
I'd say yeah, probably. It's not like insane or anything like that. It's just like he kind of has a look of like an almost trepidatious look.
All right. If you got concerns, Van, go ahead and voice them.
No, I think it is best that that we stay here.
All right.
And he's gonna start ascending the tube back up into the other ship again. It takes him a minute. He's very small. But Sifu waits for him to go, and she walks over and hugs you, Song, before telling you,
"Yep,
don't you dare get killed."
I hug her back. I'm gonna do my best.
And she'll climb back up onto her ship as well. And well, sorry, she looks to Raven first. How long do you want me to give you before I? She looks a little uncomfortable. Assume you lost.
Song, how long do you think it's going to take us?
Question for you, DM. Once we get on the planet and give the codes to them, we wouldn't then risk going back, right?
No, you would presumably wait there until the fleet came and then go up to join them.
Right. All right. Well, I'd say give us 2 hours, come through, and assume that we made it. And if we didn't, well, we're all pretty fucked anyway. So be ready for a fight either way.
She nods. 3 hours. Got it. And she starts climbing up. Okay. And with that, you're all free. You put in the coordinates for Nalhutta space.
I actually invite Raven to come up to the cockpit with me while I start preparing everything.
Sure.
I'll come up.
And while we're up there, I give you a little data chit as I'm preparing everything. And I go, I don't actually need you to help me with anything. But if I don't make it, then the day that you're able to, or the day that Sifu's able to defeat you in saber combat, I want you to give her this. And if we do make it, then you can just give it back to me.
You got it, Song?
All right.
And I punch in the coordinates.
Yep, and you guys blast into hyperspace. It's a very short trip. It's like 3 minutes trip, because you're literally just a system over.
So, not until we come out of hyperspace on the other side do I say, oh, make sure you're buckled up, everybody, over the comms.
Great.
Yeah, Raven already would have been climbing up to one of the turrets.
Good place to be right now. You come out, and there before you is Nalhutta. Song, Raven, and probably Stumpaka at one time or another. You've all seen this planet before. The Sith, or the Hutt homeworld. Not originally the Hutt homeworld, but they bought it and took it over, and it's theirs now.
You know, like you do, just buy a planet.
Like you do. It is currently blockaded with ships all around it, firing down on what they at least see to be strategic targets. You notice they are kind of far away for a traditional blockade. And Raven, you know the reason for that immediately. Katra told you the reason for that. It's because when she tried to get real close to do a proper bombardment, she started having ships blasted out of the sky. So apparently the Sith have also learned that same lesson. And they are keeping somewhat of a healthy distance right now. But yeah, you are currently kind of on the outskirts of the planet. It doesn't seem like yet any of the Imperial ships have picked you up.
You know what I'd like to try and do then? Is let's shoot the torpedo or the dummy buoy out, but not arm it yet.
Okay.
And then once we get going in the direction towards the planet, I'm going to cut everything off and just let us drift cold.
Interesting. So here's the one thing you're going to want to tell everybody. Is your ship equipped with any rebreathers?
Probably, yeah.
Just say yes.
I mean, probably.
I would assume.
You have a full...
You know,
sorry, I actually know the answer. You have a fully equipped med
like,
bay. You do.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to tell everyone to get their rebreathers, because when you cut everything off, there's not going to be any life support. But
so yeah, I just come over.
Robbie,
the
that's a very interesting idea.
Come over the comm, and I'm like, everybody might want to grab some rebreathers. I'm about to cut the power. We're going dark.
Gonna do that.
M3 is like, query, Master, Did he say he's going to cut all the power?
That's what it sounded like to me.
Statement. This is very exciting and very dangerous. I could not agree more wholeheartedly with this plan. Talk about a win-win. Okay. All right. So, Song, go ahead and make a planetary piloting check. Difficulty, not actually that hard to do what you want to do. 1, I would say, because basically all you're going to do is get yourself going to a good speed.
Yep.
Fire the torpedo and cut everything.
Yep. So unless someone literally looks out a window, and even then it'd probably be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna see me. And even if someone does, I mean, if a fucking, guy at the deck's like, hey, there's a ship out there, they're gonna look at their readings and be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's
All right.
actually a really good idea.
Green.
I want to use my
I'm gonna use an upgrade.
Yep.
new ability. Put a hand on. I'll be up in the up by the cockpit because I'd be probably like analyzing the.
Well, plus I imagine when I had mentioned this, Galvin's probably like, wait, what?
Make sure the things are going okay with the the power shutdown and everything, and put my hand on Song's shoulder as like, all right, we got this, and I want to use battle meditation.
Look at
What
you.
What does that do?
All right, go ahead and make a force check. Force rating 2. You can roll both your dice. All right. I believe you only need the 2 successes to activate this, if I'm correct. Let me check. SWRPG battle meditation. Don't think you need that dark side point. Spend. Oh no, it's even better. You get 2. All right, Song. Whatever you roll, add 2 successes to it.
Nice.
Sasha.
In that case, I'm not going to worry about you. Now that I've said the thing I want to, I'm gonna use the Destiny dice.
Okay.
So that would upgrade it basically serves as an upgrade, right?
Yep, 1 green to 1 yellow.
All right, cool. All right, and are we still going to be able to trigger the dummy with our power off, or should we put that on a delay?
You could set it on a delay, yeah.
All right, then yeah, we'll set it onto a delay. So about the time that we're starting to move past everyone, it'll go off and hopefully draw their attention away, so no one's looking out a window.
Could we also maybe have linked it up to M3 because he would still be on, so he would be able to maybe.
That way we wouldn't have to delay it. We would just use it if we have to.
Galvin, difficulty 2 mechanics check just to rig that up properly through M3.
So difficulty 2?
2, yep.
Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, well, here we go then. Here's our planetary piloting.
Perfect. 2 triumphs, no less. Okay.
Woo!
You know what?
That's 5 successes, 1 advantage, 2 triumphs.
Yeah. All right. So I was originally going to just like decrease what you guys were going to have to fight, but this plan is going to work really good. All right. So you bring it up to full impulse speed, basically as fast as your ship can go without engaging the hyperdrives, and then launch the torpedo out, and immediately everything just cuts. The whole ship just powers down. It's actually kind of spooky. You've all gotten used to the strange noises that the Razorback makes. It is kind of an older ship that has been held together through maintenance and parts, and you kind of get used to the weird noises eventually, and just drifting in the eerie silence of space is actually really uncomfortable.
You would still hear the creaking of old metal, though.
You inside the ship, yeah, absolutely.
And the gravity would have gone away as well.
Yep, you have no gravity, so you're all kind of floating a little bit. And yeah, the ship just kind of glides and coasts. And everything, every instinct in your body says, don't look out a window. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. But everyone looks out the window. And yeah, you can see as you slowly start to just coast past these massive Star Destroyers. And some of them have little packs of squadrons flying around them in formation. And just as you think one of them surely must have noticed you, you see all of them take off like a shot out towards where you had just come from, and off to the
Ambui.
Yeah, I'll say south doesn't make sense to say in space, but off to another direction towards the Kambui. They all take off, and you are able to just pass right by until you hit the atmosphere. Now, Song, I need you to make a planetary piloting check and upgrade the difficulty twice, because you have to kick the ship's engines on and engage the landing sequence.
Yep. Do I still have battle meditation?
How long does that last?
As long as he's committed his dice?
No, it's not.
No, he doesn't have that yet. No, you don't have it right now.
Okay. Yellow, green, green, purple, purple, right?
Red, because you're upgrading twice. So no purples, just 2 reds.
2 reds. All right. I'm going to use another one of those destiny.
Yep.
Campaign might end right here.
Yep. And I'm going to use my last upgrade as well.
All right.
Okay.
No, that's not right.
Everybody, hold on to your butts.
Appreciate the Sam Jackson reference. You succeed. All right.
With 3 thingamabobbers.
3 advantage, no less.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you feel comfortably out and you're moving into the planet's atmosphere in a flash, Song, your years of running the Razorback have prepared you for this moment. As you kick the engines on, it takes an extra second to start up, which makes you go, oh crap. But nope, it does kick back on. You've actually realized that you've never really tried what you just did before, like turning everything off and then turning it back on while in re-entry, because you're not insane. But it does work. You kick it on and immediately engage the landing sequence, and the ship has to put down in a hurry. The computer does not have time to find a good landing spot. It literally is just like, first acceptable spot. There it is. Land. And you put down. So, all right, well, we skipped that fight. Well done. So yes, you land in Port Hutta, which is in one of the largest city of Nal Hutta. I shouldn't say the largest city because it's all a city. The whole planet's one massive city. But you're in one of the largest, most heavily, densely populated parts of Nal Hutta, which is Port Hutta. As you land, you see the planet itself is a dark and dingy place. Most everything you see is made of metal. You land down, and immediately the scent in the air is one of just disrepair. It's a mixture of rust and rot. You don't have to look very...
Taking that big whiff, and I go, y'all smell that? Because after that landing, I am the shit.
Oh boy. Okay. You don't have to look very far to start seeing the bodies of those who have fallen, not yet able to be collected due to the ongoing siege. All around, as you descend down the gangway, you can hear blaster fire and explosions, both from ships in orbit and from the Sith special forces that are on the ground trying to secure important defensive points on the surface. As they can't just rely on raining down fire because there are some planetary shields, they have had to send down special forces attacks to try to do their best to capture some of these strategic defensive points and hopefully open up enough of a spot where they're not being shot and they can move in close and start bombarding properly. Around you, you see massive skyscrapers still reaching up into the air with metal walkways connecting the large buildings. The largest building by far is Jirana's Palace, which you can see on the skyline. It has been partially demolished from the orbital bombardments. It currently has a force field around it, protecting it from the long-range fire, though parts of that force field look like they have begun to weaken. The palace itself is made of 4 large buildings that form from the corners of a square, a durasteel curtain wall connecting them. But that's quite a ways in the distance. You are currently in the port. So you need to start making your way there.
I would know where we're going, right? Since you said I've worked out of here before.
You've been in Jirana's palace probably at least once or twice. Raven, you may have also been in Jirana's palace once. Stampaka, you also have probably been in at least once. You've all at one time or another worked for huts or with huts. So
We know where we're going, though.
yeah, you have a relatively good idea of how to get there. The trick is avoiding Sith because there's a lot of them.
Before we head off the ship, I wanted to pull Song aside for a moment.
Yeah.
So, I haven't been able to sleep these last couple days because I've been working furiously on a new serum. Especially after we found out that Darth Toxis was your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
With my experiences between my Force vision on Felucia and the revelation that Darth Revan was the one who created HK-47, who is now M3T4, I have come to the realization that there is always a path of redemption. And so, while it isn't perfected yet, I have been working on it in a means in which to cut off a dark side Force user from the Force. There are some very negative side effects, though. But
Are they worse
figured-
than death?
Yeah, I would probably say so.
Look, Galvin, I appreciate what you're doing, but my family died a long, long time ago, and I've come to accept that. If we can end Darth Toxis in some peaceful way or halfway peaceful way, great. But the important thing is that we stop her. Do you think your super poison can do that?
It could certainly help. And I will
All right.
I'll hand the serum to Song, but I'll leave it up to you.
Is this already in like a syringe, or like how would it be administered, Callie?
Yeah, at this point it would be in a syringe. You'd need to inject them.
Okay. All right. I just put a hand on his shoulder and give it a firm grip.
Do not accidentally poke yourself with that.
All right. Let's go talk to the worms.
All right.
Sorry,
So
slugs.
you're starting to make your way out of the port area. There are a lot of
As we're going,
Sith.
I'd like to just talk to Anaris really quick.
Oh,
Anaris,
sure.
I need you to do me a favor.
What you got?
That shit that I just pulled up there, you need to tell Sifu because she's not going to believe a word that comes out of my mouth if I try to.
Oh my god. You know, Song, there are just some days I want to slap you. Just every once in a while.
Wow,
But
that's
today-
not very Jedi of you.
Today, I'm not very Jedi-like today. So, I'm just going to let you win. You're just going to have it.
All right. Whatever you say, Master Anaris. Grand Master Anaris.
You need to be cocky now.
That's your title.
Do you have to rub it in like that?
Let's go.
All right. So, how do you want to make your way there? Because if you just are just going to walk out, you're going to be shooting your way out. There are Sith in the area.
Right, so the Sith are both on the ground and in the air, so are they also waging a ground battle at the same time?
Yeah, so there are special forces
Gotcha.
for the Sith that are trying to capture important defensive points on the ground. They're basically trying to open up enough of a bubble in the defenses down here that they can bring their big ships down close safely to rain fire.
Gotcha. Okay, so I start by casting Pass Without a Trace on the party.
Damn it. Why did I let you have that?
Callie, question.
Yes.
Safe to say Raven probably knows every back alley here.
I would say, given your upbringing, you know as much as most, yeah.
Raven's going to sigh really heavily. She looks like she absolutely hates this place. 'Cause she
Oh,
does.
the Force works in mysterious ways. I wrote it to be useful.
And then she's just gonna, alright, follow me.
And as I'm following her, I'm going to go ahead and use Sense, which allows me to sense all living things within a short range to make sure that we don't stumble onto anything that we shouldn't, or that we don't want to.
You're not wrong.
So I
All
need
right.
to spend a light or a dark side.
Yes, go ahead and roll your force die.
All right, come on, give me just one. Preferably a white. Or a light side, rather.
One dark side. Would you like to spend a destiny point, a conflict, and a strain
To do what?
to use that dark side point instead of the light side point?
Gonna take all of those? Well, hold on. First of all, according to Sense, I can use a dark side or a light side.
No, you have to use, those are force points, and you can only generate those using light side. Well, you can generate them using dark side, but you have to pay the price for it.
Wait, hold on. So the little circle that's light on one, dark on the other.
That's light and half, and dark is a symbol that means force power, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
You generate force power using light side pips,
Yep.
unless you spend strain and destiny points.
All right, here's the question I have for you, and if I don't know the answer to this, that is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if I were to have used dark side to do stuff around Toxis because she's so in tuned with it,
yeah,
she would have likely sensed it in the same way that Anaris has sensed me using light side stuff.
Yes.
Are the Sith forces actually Sith, or they're just people who have allied with the Sith?
Thus far, the only actual Sith you have seen have been the Ladies' Knights, the ones who are leading the division. You actually met a couple of them on the
Right.
on the Lady in Waiting.
Mhm.
Everything else seems to be either just conscripted people or droids. A lot of their army is droid.
Then yes, I will spend a strain, a conflict, and a destiny dice.
Okie dokie. One strain, one conflict, one destiny point. And you may sense. All right. And what I'm going to do, especially because you had to spend all that to do it, I'm going to let this be a kind of ongoing advantage as you try to stealth your way around the planet. So, Raven, as the group leader, I need you to make a stealth roll for the group. You may upgrade your check once because you know your way around the planet. You may upgrade your check a second time because of Song's sense. And you may add a blue boost die. The difficulty is 2. Wow, okay. 4 success and 2 advantage. All right. Raven...
at some point, I pull the classic, grabbing her by the shoulder and pulling her back as a bunch of droids walk by.
Absolutely. So you are all marching, not marching, but you're kind of making your way through the back alleys and city streets. Raven really does seem to know exactly where she's going, especially for someone who actually hasn't been here since she was like 11. She does seem to remember her way around pretty well, and she is able to lead you out of the port and into the more of the city proper without being detected by any Sith forces. As you make your way now out of the port, you are currently on a long metal walkway. It's one of the many in this city, and it takes you in between the massive skyscrapers. You are currently basically moving from skyscraper to skyscraper until you get to Drana's palace, which you now see in the distance growing larger as you get closer. I need everybody... No. I don't. I need Raven. You're in front of the group, I assume.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
I'm not great at those.
Nice.
What you got? All right. As you're wandering along, making your way, making my way. You look up and see a stray shot coming down from one of the Star Destroyers above that have finally managed to pierce one of the city's shields. It just seemed like it hit it in just the right spot. But it comes through and blasts through one of the buildings to your right, which is beginning to collapse now in your direction.
I mean, I'm gonna lead everyone noping the fuck away from that.
All right. So everybody is going to have to try to haul ass and get away from this. There's a building coming your way. You're all going to get a free upgrade to whatever check you decide to do because Raven was able to notice this coming and give you a little bit of advance notice. Everyone, tell me what skill you'd like to use to try to evade falling skyscraper.
I'm going to use coordination to try and help everyone, get out of the way, run to certain places, pushing people, where they need to be.
Interesting. Okay. Your difficulty will be 3.
And you said I get an upgrade or a blue dice?
You get an upgrade.
Do I have time to commit my force dice to agility?
Yeah.
So you say difficulty 2?
3.
Two failure and an advantage.
All right, so 1 failure. What will everyone else be doing to try to evade? What is everyone's role? Again, whatever skill makes sense. If you can argue for it, I will let you do it.
I'm gonna do coordination.
Coordination as well. Difficulty 3.
And you said 1 upgrade?
1 upgrade.
That's a good one. Coordination.
Where'd you get the blue from, Robbie?
I have a special thing that gave.
Oh, okay.
So the difficulty of 3, right?
Difficulty for 3 for coordination. So Raven has a success. Take a strain, Raven.
Second here.
Yeah, I have Stalker, which gives me 2 blues when we're doing sneaky stuff.
Cool. Anaris succeeds.
Is Stompy here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
So, Stampaka and Galvin, what do you want to do for to evade giant building?
I would like to use coercion to convince the building that it's not actually falling on us.
Damn.
Could
AKA, he wants to use the Force to hold
That is
it up.
almost the equivalent. He wants to cast Magic Missile.
Almost.
Just kidding. Can I just use athletics to haul ass out of there?
Hell yeah, you can. Difficulty 3.
Can I have a black die as well?
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, you can add a black die if you want. If you want to make it harder.
Awesome. I have a thing that makes me remove black dice.
God damn it.
That's funny.
Got him.
All right. Also, I'm going to use my force ability. It just says a white die. I don't know what it is. It's exactly that I do.
Your force ability. Oh yeah, because you can add a success if you roll light side pip.
That's right. Thank you. Okay. And how much difficulty did you say?
Difficulty is 3 purple.
Yeah, okay. And you said I get to upgrade once, right?
Yep. Jesus. All right, you succeed. Well done. So Stumbaka hauls ass. Galvin, what do you do?
Could I argue for a 2-part check to maybe make a mechanics check to kind of calculate the way the building is falling to give me a boost to my not my coercion, my
Your
coordination?
Sure. Difficulty 3 mechanics check because you're doing this on the fly.
Yeah.
You're fucking trying to Sherlock Holmes your way out of this. I like it.
Like that everybody copied my coordination check.
I mean, it makes sense. If you don't have athletics. Holy jeez. All right, well, you do take 2 strain, but you do succeed. You may add a blue boost die to your, in addition to your upgrade check, so, for your coordination roll. Difficulty 3.
You have any banked up? Okay. This thing. Well.
Gonna be great for me. All right. No successes, but 3 advantage. All right. Go ahead and heal 3 strain. If you can. I think you can only heal 2 of it right now.
Yeah,
but-
the two that I just took.
Yeah, you can heal those 2. All right. So 3 successes. So anyone who succeeded, you made it out. You were able to get away, get to the other side, either by very cleverly maneuvering your way across, or just by all-out sprinting. There are 2 failures. Song, you are caught with a chunk of rock that is on its way down, or a chunk of building would be more accurate, so it's probably Durasteel. You're going to take, let me see, what would a building's brawn be? 2 wounds, no soak. And Galvin,
Does my armor doesn't help to negate that at all either?
no, not for this. You got a big chunk of metal that fell on you. 3 wounds for you, Galvin. And you 2 are currently buried in a little bit of rubble. You're gonna the party's gonna have to help pull you out. So this large building comes down, and it's falling apart as it does. And Raven, you turn in time to see as Song gets clipped by a piece of the metal and goes down, and a big, like, a part of the building kind of lands on top of him. Luckily for him, it was a window, and he is not dead or crushed. Galvin has also disappeared in the rubble somewhere. So
I
you
use my flamethrower to just melt the glass.
I mean, hell yeah.
All right, I just do that.
So you fire up your wrist-mounted flamethrower, and it starts burning through. You're a little bit close range to that piece of glass, so you're like, okay, that's hot. Okay, not the best of ideas.
Mando armor, it's fine.
Yeah, like, you don't burn yourself too bad, but you're like, all right, that's a bit much. But the glass does start to melt away, and you're able to
Punch out of it.
Yeah,
Wait,
punch yourself through it.
Does M3 also need to make a check?
M3 is buried with you.
Okay.
Galvin, make a perception check for me.
Just a straight roll.
Yep. Nice. All right. So, Galvin, the room that you find yourself in, since you're now inside the building, technically, which is kind of precariously held up by this metal pathway, there are bodies in it. A number of bodies. You see 3 people who look like Sith. Sith conscripts. They're not actually Sith soldiers. And a very fancy-looking droid. Apparently, these were people who were trying to take control of that building when the random shot hit it. But yeah, there are 3 people and a droid. They do not seem to be moving.
What kind of droid was it?
Difficulty 4 mechanics check. It's unlikely you've seen this droid before, but I'll let you try.
Underestimate the droid porn that Galvin looks up.
I mean, that's fair.
The Crushinator.
The Crushinator. Yeah, it's the Crushinator for sure.
Would M3 be able to help with this at all, or because he's so old, is this like kind of a newer?
Yeah, I just don't think he would know what it is.
Yeah, okay, that's why. So I wouldn't get the blue. So difficulty 4.
All right. Take 2 strain, but you do know what it is. All right, so Galvin, a while back, you were going through some of the new designs of droids that were coming out from the Corellian make this year. And one of them, you recall this one. This is an ASP-19 battle droid. It is a very modern combat droid. This one is mostly destroyed. It did not have a good time in the fall. However, what you remember being very important is that their droid brains are a new model that has never been made before, and it gives the ASP-19 a advantage over almost any other droid it comes across on the battlefield.
Would I be able to. Is it the core of the droid, or is it like a chip or something?
It's in the head. Yeah, it's like it's processor core.
Can I try to extract that?
Difficulty 2 mechanics check. Nice. Okay. Great. Let me get down to your section here. So, you are able to crack into the droid's head. As you kind of walk over, you feel this building starting to get a little bit shaky, and you're like, okay. But you're able to make it over to it, and you crack open the droid's head and find that not only is this the processor chip that you were expecting to find, it's actually a custom one. You've actually never seen anything like this chip before. You note the number on it, which is 616D617261. So you note that number on it, but yeah, other than that, it appears to be a customized version of the ASP-19 droid battle chip.
You said 616D7261?
616D617261.
Okay. All right. And then does M3 have any kind of like lasers? I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be able to cut through metal because it's
If you're just trying to remove the chip, you can just take it off.
No. I just like trying to kind of cut a way out of here.
Oh, yeah. So I'll actually jump back over to the party. What do you want to do to dig Galvin out?
So as I come out, I look to Inaris and go, you can leave the part about me being buried under a building out.
Okay, we can do that.
Raven's already going to be picking through the rubble, trying to find, like, somewhere she can cut through with the Darksaber that's not immediately going to collapse it.
Got it.
Galvin's still in there?
Yeah. Raven, perception check, difficulty 2.
And
Oh,
I will
no.
be
Can
trying
I
to
assist
open
her
areas
in
that-
this in some way?
Yeah, Raven, take an upgrade because Songer's going to assist you. He's going to tell you what his elf eyes see.
Awkward.
And I'll be using my lightsaber to try and find elevated areas I can probably crawl into to see where he's at.
Yeah, it comes out more like this, River. No, not there. Try over this way. Over there. No, do not, whatever you do not cut that rock. That is the keystone. It'll bring the whole thing down. Try
Well,
down
that's
there.
still one
Right through
failure.
there. No, right through there.
Okay. All right.
Damn,
So
I pulled an Andron.
yep. So you cut Raven where Song tells you to, and
No, where he tells you not to.
no,
Just believe me.
no, you cut where Song tells you to, and Galvin, as you're like you get the chip out and you put it in your bag, and then the Darksaber suddenly emerges from the droid's chest and almost cuts you.
Hey, watch it!
Oh, there. See, actually, look at that. You saved him. That droid was about to kill him. Poor kid. We got you. Come on, crawl out of there.
Raven's just gonna yell through, what direction do I need to cut?
There you go. Galvin, you're able to relatively easily now guide her in cutting you out, and you are able to escape.
Did M3 take any damage from the building as well, or
M3 is
Shoots
okay.
him.
okay?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but it was real bad too. No, he seems okay.
Okay.
All right.
Shoots M3 again. I don't think he's gonna make it.
So you all continue off on the running on the walkway, and as you're going, the walkway behind you, like the building, finally goes through it, and the
Collapses.
walkway collapses. So that's not great, but you didn't fall with it, so that is great. You continue along your way. It's about a 20 or 30-minute walk until you reach the force field around Jorana's palace.
Comes
You
all
can
the way
hear-
down to the bottom. Like
I'm
all the way
sorry,
down
say
to the
again?
ground. The force
Yeah,
field comes already.
it's a dome force field over the palace. You're now at the outer hull of it. You can hear shooting from inside, though. It seems like in this courtyard area beyond it, there's probably already Imperial forces inside. So either they found a way to disable it for a minute, or they broke a way through it.
All right, here's my idea. Between 3 lightsabers and this badass flamethrower, we might be able to overload a section of the shielding in time for all of us to jump through.
The thing is protecting them from Star Destroyers, right?
Yeah, but that's different because you have one giant blast that's coming in at a very high level of kinetic force. We are concentrating all of our energy into a single man-sized hole.
Galvin, you've heard
Plus-
worse ideas.
This is Star Wars. Come on.
Raven does not look like she believes Song.
Can we try?
Suppose
Galvin,
the alternative would be taking the whole shield down, and that probably wouldn't be ideal either. So
Look, let's
I
give it a
feel
try.
like
If
this
it
is
doesn't
the,
work, we look for another way in.
I agree.
I don't suppose you'd know any of those.
Look, I'm going to shoot my flamethrower at this thing. Jedis in Mandalore, just stick your lightsabers in at the same area. And just hold it there for a minute, and we'll see what happens.
All right.
Okay.
What are we rolling, GM?
I don't know if there is a role for this so much. You
That's for you to figure it out.
you both, Anaris, Raven, and Stumpaka, all three of you plunge your lightsabers.
Look, all I'm
into-
saying, real quick, just for your consideration, this is essentially what Thanos' army did with their bare hands to Wakandan tech.
I got you.
We have a flamethrower and 3 lightsabers.
Raven, Stumpaka, and Anaris, each of you plunge your lightsaber into this force field. And, I mean, yeah, your lightsabers are designed for cutting through very powerful things. You cut through Durasteel, and yeah, with 3 lightsabers focused on a single point, you are able to wrench open a small section of this force field. You're not certain how confident you are in it holding. All right, it holds well enough for that.
All right, come on.
You're on the other
Punch
side.
through.
Yep. M3 also goes through. He goes through second.
I'm surprised
Kelvin,
that
gonna need
worked.
you on this side in case it doesn't work.
Yep, I'm jumping through.
You make it through. All right, now the tricky part. The 3 people holding it open.
So, since Raven holds her saber backhand, can she just kind of back herself through it?
Yeah, I think so.
So then Raven should go in last to let
Yeah.
everyone else go through.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Yeah, she's basically like, all right, get through.
I'm hopping
Let's
through.
not hold this open any longer than we have to.
All right, Stumpaka, this is not a Wookiee size hole. It is a human-shaped hole. Are you just going to try and squeeze through?
Yeah. Let's see how that works out.
All right, you die. No,
Oh,
it's fine. You're able to get through. You're good.
half of you makes it through.
Yeah. No. And Raven, you are also then able to back yourself through. Yeah. No, that is actually exactly what I wrote for you guys to do. I figured you would try exactly that. So.
Don't worry, Mandalore. I'm not gonna say I told you so.
You now
You can tell Sifu this part of the story.
You now find yourself on the inside of the force field. You are a stone's throw from Geronis Palace. Now, as you approach, I need everyone to make a stealth roll.
Yeah, I'm really good at these.
So, if I
Difficulty
commit a force
2.
die, how long does that last?
Until you uncommit it.
So difficulty
Excellent.
is 2.
Who?
Difficulty is 2.
I mean, I'm not really sneaky either, but who isn't really sneaky?
Can I use any advantage to help other people? Like, isn't it 2 advantage gives a boost die?
Yeah.
Or is it an upgrade? Sorry.
It's an up. Sorry, it's an up boost die, blue boost die.
It's a
So I
boost
kinda
die.
made it
All
through.
right. I'm going to give my boost die to Galvin.
How did I only end up with advantage when I had 5
Well, I-
green dice?
Jesus.
It's not a failure.
I wanted to use battle meditation on the 2 least sneakiest people. I can't use it on myself, right?
You can use battle meditation on yourself. Well,
Oh.
no, you can't because you have to be meditating during it. So no. Actually, you would have a hard time using battle meditation for this because you have to
Wow.
actively be moving too. So yeah, you can't. You
Oh,
can't
okay,
meditate right now.
use it well.
All right,
You
well,
have
you still have a blue dice for me.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that probably would have gone to what, Galvin and Stompy?
Stompy actually
Yeah,
made it.
Yeah, I already passed.
No, you didn't. You failed.
No. Me?
You've got one advantage. No
Oh yeah,
successes.
no, you failed, right? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We've had 2 people succeed, 2 people have failed so far.
I think I made it.
3 people
I'm not
failed.
sure.
You did make it. 3 people failed.
Yeah, me and you made it, Turlo.
Okay. So as you start making your way forward, you descend down into a courtyard area that leads up a large set of stairs into the front of Jirana's palace, where you can see that they have started to barricade it in because of what's shooting at them. There's an ATST in the front yard that has, and now you understand exactly how they got through the force field. They are shooting, and as you approach, they bring you up on their personal sensors, and to one of the battle droids turns and starts shooting at you. Everyone roll for initiative.
I grab my thermal
For initiative?
Oh.
Yep.
Never mind.
You can all roll cool presence because you guys saw it. It's not like it caught you completely unawares. But yep.
Is there a difficulty for it or no?
No, not for this. Just roll your cool presence.
It's
They
like-
are caught off guard, so I need to use their vigilance will.
Damn it.
He's the two-legged one?
ATST is a 2-legged, yeah, the chicken walker.
It's like the weirdest thing about initiative in this game is like you have one that's just better than the other, and it's like I wish I was surprised because then I would have a better roll.
Yeah.
Mine are the same.
Wow, my people roll absolute garbage for for initiative. Holy jeez. All right, I've got 2 green for the 2 troopers and 1 green for the ATST. All right. So, does anybody have better than 2 successes? Yes. All right, so we're going to go hero, hero, villain, hero, 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 villain. Okay. All right, 2 heroes are up first. You are up against 2 battle droids and an ATST.
Well, since I have
Jeez.
quick strike, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of those and go ahead and go first. So 2 battle droids and the walker.
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna try to take one of the battle droids out then. And range.
You're at medium range probably right now.
And I'm
Alright.
still using my basic lightsaber, right? I haven't gotten the new one yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Spoiler, you might get it today.
Can I
Okay.
rush into close range? But is there anything that I could potentially take cover behind?
Yeah, I mean you're in a courtyard right now. Robbie, do you remember in Mass Effect 3 the
Every single level.
Grissom Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big courtyard spot that sucks on insanity difficulty. It's kind of like that where you're at right now.
I mean, I made it through without dying, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
Well, you have to make it through without dying to. Anyway, that's not the point. So yeah,
For those of us
there's
that didn't play Mass Effect.
there's plenty of things to take cover behind out here.
Okay,
There's,
so yeah,
there's a lot of
I
cement
run in,
structures.
so I'm at short range, taking cover, and then I'll take aim with my disruptor pistol at one of the battle droids. And I think, do I have... Okay, still just 1 quick strike. So... 1 purple?
At short range, 1 purple. Yep, they don't have any adversary. 1 success, 4 advantage.
Yep. And because I picked up deadly accuracy, I do an extra 4 damage.
Ouch.
And that is 2 crits, right?
Yeah, they can't take crits because they're just minions, so it just dies. You just blow it up.
And if that's the case, I'm going to use my advantage to use my light blaster to take a shot at the other one.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead. One of them, you just blow up. You fire your disruptor pistol, and it like takes a big chunk out of like the upper right side of it. Like that whole chunk is just gone, and then the droid falls over.
Okay, and then I get another 1 success, 7 advantage, and
Holy
4 additional
Jesus.
damage on that as well.
Okay, how much damage is that? Oh, that's crit, so you're gonna blow that one up too, actually. All right, should have had you fight a few more than 2, I suppose.
Nope, that's all right. Pew pew.
All right, so the two small droids fall, leaving just the ATST. Next hero.
And then behind the cover, I yell, Jedis!
I try and take out one of the chicken walkers by disabling one of its legs if I can.
You're gonna go attack one of the. Well, there's only one
Or the
one
chicken walker.
ATST. Yeah. All right, you may go ahead and make an attack at it.
Probably use just my lightsaber, which is a yellow-green. Any difficulty?
Yes, it's difficulty. If I could find its freaking armor, where is it? No, I know it's firing arc. I don't need that. I need its armor. There it is. Okay. Difficulty is going to be 2 and upgraded once. So it's going to be a purple and a red.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Can I use a force die or a destiny point?
You may.
Okay, so 1 white. Okay, here we go.
Oh, you're using a destiny point or you're using a force die?
Force die.
What are you using force die? What power are you activating?
Oh gosh. I think it's toughened or grit. I think grit. No, that's not force power, is it?
No, those give you extra strain
Fine.
and wound
And
threshold.
it's a destiny point. Hold on, let me re-roll.
Yeah, destiny point just is upgrade your dice once. 3.
Okay, so destiny point would let me use what, 2 yellow or?
Yep. 2 yellow
Okay.
against a red purple. Technically, gives you a better roll than.
Green. R P. There we go. Sorry, I misunderstood how that worked.
Mm-hmm. 2 advantage. All right. So you are going to plunge your lightsaber in, but it doesn't cut on this one because you didn't actually get any successes. So you kind of attack, and the hardened Durasteel leg kind of reflects your lightsaber back at you a bit. It doesn't hurt you any, but like it bounces almost.
Great.
You have 2 advantage to spend. What would you like to do with it?
How exactly can I use that? As far as, can I attack again, or?
No, you could use it to give a boost die to your next compatriot.
Or can't you also do
Or a
the
black die
opposite
to
of that
the-
to a bad guy?
You could give it a black die too to make it weaker. You could do that too.
Okay, so I can do 2 different things. So I could give the black die to the ATST, and then I could give an advantage to another player.
You could do one of those. Those both cost 2.
Oh, it has to be okay. It has to be okay. I'm gonna give advantage to Raven.
It is the ATST's turn. It cannot shoot straight down. It actually cannot shoot at engaged range. So congratulations, Daenerys. You are currently safe. So it is going to aim down sights, and it is going to take a shot at Song. Or no, it's going to take a shot at the big Wookiee. Yeah.
Nervous Wookiee noises.
Mating Wookiee noises. All right.
Just no.
So, Stumpaka, do you have any armor?
Armor, I don't believe.
Okay.
That's gonna be bad.
3 success, 2 advantage. All right. So it aims down its sights, and it is going to blast you. And the blast goes kind of right at your feet. It is going to hit you, Stumpaka, for 15 wounds. And
Ow! 15?
yes, and Galvin and Raven and M3, who are all
Uh-oh.
close by,
Oh, it has splash damage.
it does have splash damage, are going to take, if I could find the right freaking page. I've got like 12 tabs open now. My life. All right, there it is.
I wonder
Are,
who fucked up
are-
those Ewoks.
are each, yeah, exactly. They're each going to take 8 wounds. You
Can
do get to,
I use reflect on this?
You cannot. It wasn't
Okay.
attacking you. This is just blast damage that it's hitting you. Oh, and it has breach on that, so no, you can't soak it either. So that's just 8 wounds.
Disgusting.
But I took
Oh, no.
15.
You took 15.
No.
Ow! That's not good.
This
All right.
this is the last unit, right? It was just those 3.
This is all that's left. Yeah, it's just this.
okay.
I mean, technically, there's a pilot on the field too,
Right,
someone piloting
sure.
the ship. But yeah. All right. it is everyone else's turn. So we've already had Song and Inaris go. So Stampaka, Galvin, Raven, you're all up.
Raven's mad, and she's gonna rush this thing with the Darksaber.
Oh shit. Badass. All right, do it. Difficulty is going to be 2, upgraded once to a red and a purple.
Okay.
And you have a blue. Remember, you have a blue boost die from Inaris.
Yep. So those two. Then... Whoops. 3 green and then a blue, and then red, purple.
Yep. One success, 2 advantage. All right. Is the crit rating on that 2? I think the crit rating on the Darksaber is 2.
I'm scrolling all the way down. Yes, it is.
All right, so you may crit it. You're gonna deal. What's its base damage? 7.
I just scrolled back up. 6.
6. All right. So you're gonna carve through and do 6 damage to it. Does not destroy its leg, but it does do 6 damage that it doesn't like, and you may inflict a crit.
Okay. I have. Where is that? Lethal blows, 2 ranks, so that's plus 20. How did you do a D100 in
Exclamation point, poly,
Ollie, isn't it?
and then the number, yeah.
So poly 100.
Or I'm sorry, crit. You can actually just do. You can do exclamation point crit plus whatever your plus is.
Do I put a space between it, or?
I don't remember. Try both. I don't think so. Try crit plus 20.
Is that not what it did?
Oh yeah, I guess it did do that. All right. Overpower. The target leaves themselves open, and the attacker may immediately attempt another free attack against them using the exact same pool as the original attack. All right, do it again.
That's brutal.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a nasty
5
crit.
success.
All right, take a strain. You're going to deal 10 damage to it. That's 16 total damage done so far. Okay. Yeah, it's not a fan of you. It doesn't like anything about you, and it thinks you suck. But it's not dead. Take a strain, and good turn. Next hero.
I'm gonna run up and use my lightsaber on the same leg that we're all focusing on.
Somewhere you can hear Wookiee Squadron cheering.
If they weren't so hungover.
If they weren't so hungover. They are legendarily hungover. That is for sure. They are happy they did not have to come on this journey.
Okay, so I'm going to be committing my force die for a extra brawn.
Okay.
So I have 4 yellow, 2 green with a lightsaber attack.
Okay, purple red is the difficulty.
Purple red.
Mm-hmm. 3 success, 1 advantage. All right. You are going to deal 8 wounds. Oh, I think that's enough to cut through its leg. It is. All right. So after Raven went up and just started hacking away, Stampaka, you come in with the axe and are like, I got this. And like a lumberjack, you fell this thing. You cleave through its leg. It breaks out, and the very poorly designed ATST stumbles and falls to the ground.
It can't hop around on one leg like the Pixar lamp?
No, unfortunately, It just falls to the ground. It is still facing you, and you notice that it is still aiming its gun towards you.
Oh.
Can I jump on top of its head?
That said, yeah, it's next hero's turn.
Gallon, that's you. Go finish
Galvin.
it off.
Oh,
Calvin, yeah.
oh God, no. there's no fucking way.
What are you talking about? Just run up to the little eye slit and stick your gun in there and start pulling the trigger. Just start blasting. You're thinking about it.
Well, I'm trying to. So it's down now, right?
Yeah, it's on the ground.
Would I be able to move up to it and maybe make a mechanics check to try to disable the guns?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Difficulty is 3, probably.
So I'll move up with M3 and...
M3 is not looking great after the 8 wounds from the blast.
Oh, that's right. He also got hit for 8.
Actually, let me see if he's up still, because I don't know how many he can take.
I think he actually is. I think he might be down, actually.
Yeah, he might actually be down right now. One sec. I improved medical droid. There you are. He has exactly 8 wounds. So yeah, he's down at the moment. He's on the ground. He's no, he's at his wound threshold. Never mind. He's at wound threshold, not exceeded. He can't go with you. He's exactly 8.
Oh, okay. So
he looks like shit, but he is with you.
All right. Well, so we'll get the blue. We'll get the blue down there. You said difficulty 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll try to disable the weapon. Two success, 1 advantage.
All right, you run up with M3 and see that while the gun itself really can't be disabled, what you can disable is its ability to move. So you basically just lock it into the up position, and M3 takes a piece of rebar off the ground and just jams it in there. Now it's locked, aiming straight up.
Fair enough. And that would be my action, right? To do that mechanics check.
Yep.
And I need an action to have M3 do anything?
Yep.
Okay.
Good turn. Back around to the top of the order.
All right.
I
I'm
will
just
tell
gonna
you,
run up and stick my disruptor pistol in through the eye slit and fire.
Yeah, go ahead. The droid inside is actually already shut down because the ATST is no longer responsive, but you may do so.
So it's not even a dude?
No, it's a droid inside. It's a droid pilot.
Oh. Well, just to make sure it doesn't get back up.
Fair enough. Yeah, difficulty, short range 1.
You're actually gonna make me roll.
Maybe you'll accidentally shoot Raven.
Green. Unlikely.
Oh boy. No, yeah, not very unlikely. You blow the droid's head off, and the ATST powers down. Hold on.
All right, where's you now?
You're at the base of these stairs that lead up to the entrance to Jorana's palace.
What was this thing shooting at?
It was literally trying to shoot down the barricades in front of the palace.
Oh,
It's just trying to take out front sections of this wall to make it so that it can be invaded.
Yep. So I guess as we get closer to the barricades, then like we have to get someone to open them up for us, basically, right?
Well, they're partially blown open. It looks like what they've done is create a bottleneck for people to have to funnel in through.
Okay. I'm gonna offer some healing and heal M3 as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Calvin, can you send your droid up here for us, please?
Hold on. Well, hold on. Let me fix him up here. I'm gonna attempt to use my heal droid power.
All right, I'm just gonna pick up a rock and toss it through the bottleneck.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen. There's no automated defenses of any kind.
All right. If I step through here, is someone gonna shoot at me?
A voice comes back. Probably.
All right. What if I tell you I'm not a Sith?
I mean, there's some murmuring. We've heard that one before.
Okay, I'm gonna take my helmet off and just hold the Mando helmet around the edge.
Who are you?
Song Vizsla. I'm here with Mandalore Vizsla. We need to talk to the hut.
You hear a lot more murmuring. Enter.
All right. They shoot me down, tell my daughter I love her. And I'm going to step in the way with my hands up.
Mm-hmm. So you start entering into this kind of dark temple. Apparently the power has been kind of flickering on and off in certain parts of it. You start entering in, I shouldn't say temple, it's a palace.
Did the Sith really try? We're not Sith!
They will neither confirm nor deny. So you start making your way in, and you can see that indeed, in these kind of alcoves of this wall, people have carved out little, basically hidey holes for them to shoot from. And there's a lot of guns trained on you as you're entering, but they're not shooting.
All right. So
Is
I got
everyone else
another-
following?
I got another Mando I'm gonna bring in, as well as a Jedi, a Wookiee, and some kid in his bot.
Well, I was offering medical assistance to anyone who.
Raven's taking up
needed
the
it
medical
all.
assistance at the moment.
Okay,
Because
let's-
she's down to
okay.
6 wounds.
Also, with the force, since I got 2 light side pips, can I use it? Can I heal twice with it, or is it only once per?
Let me check because not all abilities let you do that. Manipulate.
As I look, I'm just gonna be like, hold on, they're putting on band-aids.
All right. For it may spend that to cause one vehicle to recover a system strain, but you have the droid upgrade. Yeah, you can spend as many as you roll.
Okay, so I'd heal him for 10, which was more than he has anyway. So.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. So you're gonna spend 1 to do the basic ability and heal it, right?
Mhm.
And then if you have another one, do you have any strength purchases?
No, so that's how you would be able to upgrade it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
You'd spend a second
Okay.
point to activate that strength upgrade. Is how that works.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to.
Yeah. So you would just be able to heal at the basic ability.
So heals 5.
All right, he'll heal 5. He's up to 3.
Um,
And everyone else is getting stimmed, I assume.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
use.
What's the bonus that M3 does for that?
M3 gives you an I think with M3 stims always heal for 5, if I recall.
I'm trying to.
Because usually they get weaker as you use more of them.
Did
I just
bookmark?
realized I have a heal ability.
You do.
um.
Do
shit,
you
what did
want
I
to
do?
heal us?
I didn't bookmark that.
I didn't realize it was a heal/harm also.
It is. Well, if you use light side, it's heal, and if you use dark side, it's harm. It's basically force heal versus choke.
Yeah, but if I use dark side, then that means I get conflict.
You do get conflict, but you do get to choke someone. It's pretty cool.
Well, let me see if I can go heal. Who needs the healing, Raven?
I just
and
moved myself
stomping.
back up to 11 wounds, but like I could use some more.
I think Stumpaka needs it the most. He took 15
Okay, we'll
wounds.
go get Stompy.
Okay. Go ahead. You may try and use your heal power.
What do I roll for that? Just
Whatever
a
your force
die?
rating is. Yep, force rating.
Force rating of, I think it's 3.
I think you are up to 3 now.
Yep, I am at 3.
Lloyd would like to know: is it dark side if you use that choke on yourself? The
For like
Catholic
what?
Church
For
would
sexual
believe
gratification?
So yeah, the
I
the
think
Catholic
so.
Church would have you believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 light side, 2 dark side.
All right. So you can use your light side to heal wounds equal to intellect. So whatever your intellect is, you can heal that many wounds on Stumpaka.
3.
All right, Stumpaka, heal 3 wounds.
And I'm also going to use my Gizga vomited stim pack on myself as well.
Heal 5 wounds. Heal 5 wounds, but feel a little grossed out.
He's going to use the LE special.
The LA special, yeah.
All right, down to 7.
All right, nice.
Feeling a
So
lot better.
what does a med pack do?
A med pack, that is used for healing critical wounds, I believe. Criticals.
Oh, okay. So stim packs are the only ones that heal just like basic.
Yeah, that heal
Yeah.
wounds.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any bonuses to stim pack.
Just stimming. Okay. I think it's when you get the advanced brain, which you actually just got, that you're able to.
Surgeon 1 allows him to heal 1 additional wound when you use a medicine check.
Yep. So he could do a medicine check on one person if you want to have him do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you just did that with Stompy. I'll have him do that on
What's his medicine and what's his intellect?
his intellect is 3, and I think his medicine was 3. Yeah, medicine 3. So 3 yellow.
For success, he may heal 4 wounds on whoever you had him heal.
Would that be 5 then, because of the +1?
Sorry, +1 for that. So 5, yeah.
So 5. Okay, so I'll have him do that on Raven,
Okay.
and I'll use stim pack on myself.
5 wounds on yourself then. Great.
Okay.
Now that we're all
between
patched
my
up-
stim and that, I'm back up to full wounds.
Nice.
I'm just nervously talking to these guys. I'm like, yeah, this is totally not,
Yeah.
a ruse or anything. And my friends are going to come through the door any second. They're just trying to, they got blown up by the walker out there. Just,
Oh, yeah. That thing's been shooting at us all day.
yeah, we finished it. It's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Jedi's cut the leg off.
Yeah. So you all enter and make your way past some of these people who are kind of guarding the outer front. And you make it to a person who is he looks probably Corellian, maybe. He's humanoid. He has brown hair. It's relatively short, and a big scar down his cheek. That said, I don't know. Something about him, he doesn't seem like the brightest bulb you've ever met. But he looks at you and says, all right, stop. Who are you? Note that what you say, we may kill you.
We're the Mandalorian Resistance, and it looks like you could use a hand.
What are your names?
Song. I turn to Raven to let her introduce herself how she sees fit.
Raven. She still has, like, the Darksaber. Like, she's half expecting them to start shooting.
Yeah. They kind of look at each other. Like it's him and one of his other guys. They kind of look at each other like, is that the name the boss told us to wait for?
Vizsla.
Yeah, that sounds like the right name. All right. The boss wants to talk to you. And you notice now a lot of guns are pointing at you. Probably about 20 or 30 people are approaching from all sides, pointing guns at you. And they place a bag over each of your heads.
Really? We're in the building.
M3 also is like, really? as a bag is placed over his head, too. And you are all...
walk and meditate with this on my head, just out of curiosity.
You can probably meditate while you're doing that. Like, it's actually cutting off some of your senses, so maybe you can meditate better. I don't know. But you all start marching. You each have a gun to your back, and you start making your way through what you presume is the curtain wall of the palace and the courtyard, and eventually into the actual main structure of the palace.
As we're walking, I would like to try using my senses to basically narrate where we are to show them how stupid this is.
Roll your force die.
Totally not just gonna get him shot in the back of the head.
Yep. Especially because I'd probably been here before, you said, right? So I'm like, all right, now you're walking us through the courtyard.
What the brown-haired one seems particularly annoying, and like jabs you in the back occasionally as you continue just to narrate what's going on.
Was that wrong? Did they decorate?
Shut up. Hey, lords and ladies of fate, welcome in. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, raiders. Could one of the mods please give a shout out over to the lords and ladies of fate? Really appreciate having you along. Hope you had a great night. We're doing a session right now of Star Wars. This is actually the thrilling conclusion of episode 2 tonight. And we just broke into Jirana the Hutt's palace and, are currently being bagged by probably an idiot. So, might as well dive back in. So you make your way into the main area. You can hear a lot of murmuring of voices in this room. There seems to be a lot going on, which makes sense with the planet under siege right now. There's probably a lot of efforts being coordinated in this room. As you get up towards the front, you hear the brown-haired man speak up and say, "Boss, I think these are the ones you were asking for. We got them for you." A moment later, Raven, you feel kind of like the whoosh of someone like walk past you in kind of a hurry. And then what can only be the sound of fist connecting with jaw as someone gets absolutely clocked next to you.
I'm going to reply, to be fair, putting these hoods on us, total power move, my dude.
And you hear, "Point a gun at my wife again and see what happens to you." And all of your hoods are very quickly removed, and you see Katra looking at you.
Turn to Raven. Good news. She hasn't been tortured to death by Darth Toxis yet.
She looks at you like, not
Raven
to my
actually-
knowledge, no.
Raven actually does look relieved.
She glanced down. You'll have to excuse him. His name is Alexei, and he's an idiot. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for those follows. Really appreciate having you along. And Katra kind of glances around and tells her, like, her people, everyone look away. Look away, or I will shoot you. And then she's going to hug you, Raven.
I mean, Raven is obviously going to hug her back.
Mm-hmm. So she nods. I hope that it is not just the 5 of you here.
No, we brought
For
you
the
this.
moment.
I'll hand her a chip with the
The
pass
transponder
on-
codes?
or the transponder codes.
Yeah.
The rest
She-
of our fleet will be here in 2 hours.
And you can thank Slog for his amazing piloting skills getting us down here.
She gives you kind of an almost surprised look. Really, Song? I have had the pleasure of flying with
pilot.
you before. Okay. She takes the transponder codes, though, and nods. Well, it is much appreciated. She then gets a kind of a sheepish look on her face and looks to Raven. Jorana's terms were somewhat less than acceptable. Anaris, you're breathing into your microphone, just so you know.
Just
So
the
I take
thought
that
of
to mean you
killing
took
huts.
over?
She nods. Well, not sort of. There was a man here who had eyes on deposing Jorana, and he seemed like a good ally at the time. So him and I worked to take over. Surprisingly, Jorana was interested in surrendering to the Sith, but most of Crimson Dawn, she kind of glances out and they all let out a cheer. Most of them were not. She looks around. I see you've taken care of the ATST outside.
Yeah. Got shot by it. Don't recommend that.
No, definitely not. Okay, well, down the hallway there is medical quarters if anyone needs to get checked out. What else do you need?
Mostly those comm codes put in so we don't get shot out of the sky.
She hands the comm codes over to one of her other lieutenants and nods. He will take care of it. When your fleet arrives, they will not be shot at by us. Until then, I suppose you would do well to get some rest. What little you can.
I also need to figure out what our plan is once the other fleet does come in. Having them sandwiched between our fleet and the planet will put us in an advantageous position. But what are we doing? Think on it. And I'm gonna go take care of my 2 wounds.
Yeah, you can all go to the medical wing, and you'll be able to get patched up. You can also heal any strain that you took on the way down. Well done, everyone. I had 4 combats planned for the way down here, and you avoided 3 of them. So well done.
Woo! Making our way.
Making our way.
If you had physical paper, this is the point where you would rip them up and just throw them off behind you because they were of no use.
Yes, exactly. Jorana's palace, by the way, is lavish. It's intricately decorated with tapestries and decorations on the wall. There is 2 twin pools that kind of line this main room, although a lot of this main hall, which was probably at once like where his throne room, well, you actually know was once where his throne was, has been remade into a command center, effectively. Yes, Song.
As we're just kind of milling about, could I just take a look around and see if there's anything that Ozzy might be able to use to upgrade my armor?
You absolutely may. Go ahead and make a difficulty 2 persuasion check. Or, sorry, perception check.
Oh, not good. Green, purple. Oh. Nope.
Nope.
It's a failure and an advantage.
Failure and advantage. Okay, so you're going to look around. You see a couple things, but you're just not sure what Ozzy's looking for. You know she's going to work on your jetpack next, so that's cool. But you're not quite able to find what she needs. And you actually don't, because the problem is, you actually don't know if she needs anything. She was working on it last time you talked to her, and she didn't ask you for something. So maybe she's just good.
I'm just gonna grab something then. If I see something that you're like, maybe she can use that, I'm just gonna grab it anyhow.
Yeah, you take something that, I mean, you take like a canister of like fuel, thinking like something like that could hold rocket fuel in
Yep.
it. So
Yep.
you
All
take
right.
that, thinking maybe
Cool.
she'll want it.
Yep.
All right. Are there any discussions or conversations you all would like to have? You've got 2 hours of downtime effectively before the fleet is going to arrive and the final section of episode 2 is going to begin.
So, what do we know? Do we have an idea of generally what the plan here is going to be? Like, all right, there's if there's a battle of some sort, obviously it ends when either the flagship or Darth Toxis is taken down.
Yeah.
Are we planning on trying to force that encounter on the planet's surface, or would it be smart to try and head to and dock on the ship itself?
Yeah, you're pretty certain that unless it's absolutely necessary, Darth Toxis is not going to come down to the planet.
Mhm.
She knows that you're going to want to face her eventually, so she'll wait on her ship. So you're right when you say, by the way, you're going to have them sandwiched between the defenses on the planet and your fleet coming on the outside. It will give you guys an advantage in the actual space battle. And that's kind of the plan, is to let the space battle begin and try to dock on the Lady in Waiting is probably the best plan.
All right.
So yeah.
Angela?
That's what we're going with then.
Galvin, you have something to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, would I in the 2 hours would I be able to make an attempt at installing the chip that I found? Or
Can
does
you
it
double
take
check what's
longer?
on the chip before you plug it into your murder
That's
robot?
True.
Yeah, I will say that's normally, as far as installing it goes, yeah, no problem, but you don't know if it's going to overwrite HK47, or sorry, M3T4.
HK47 is like, I'm back, bitches!
Yeah, you don't know what it's going to overwrite, and you don't know what's on it, so you probably are going to want to do a little bit more research before you do that.
I'll wait on it.
But,
Would there
Galvin,
be?
the longer you research, the more likely that your girlfriend's going to do something cooler before you. Maybe you should just plug it in.
That obsession kicking in right now.
Would
That's So, I don't know.
would there be like scrap around to be able to use M3's ability to make a stim pack?
Yeah, absolutely. M3 can fashion you a stim pack.
All right, I'll just use it to replace the one that I used then.
Sure. Does anyone else have anything they particularly want to do?
Can I look at my kyber?
I mean, once we have a plan, Raven is basically just going to catch up with Katra because it's been a bit.
So you're able to find her as you come grab her. She is you actually overhear her barking orders at the moment. She goes, "I don't care what it takes. Get reinforcements to that fucking AA gun, or you'll go out there with a gun yourself." She glances up and kind of like blushes a little bit. They're idiots.
Out of a lot of people.
She nods and takes like a moment to step away, signaling one of her lieutenants take over. And looks to you. Are you all right to the ATST?
Patched back up.
Good.
Mostly
sorry.
shot Stompy anyways.
He is tough, clearly. You can tell she's a little bit like, he got shot directly with an ATST and he's not dead. That's impressive.
Yeah, Raven's still processing that a little bit too, obviously. She
Yeah.
has her helmet off for this. I should probably say that.
Okay. Katara nods. So, Jorana's terms, by the way, if you are interested in knowing, was the legalization of slavery throughout the galaxy with himself as the minister.
Of course it was.
Yeah. We learned that Isla was given the entirety of the Outer Rim for her betrayal. And he would have asked not the same, but he wanted slavery. And I figured you would say no. I couldn't get in touch with you, but I figured I knew your answer.
Yeah, right, as usual.
Is it true? Darth Toxis Song's daughter?
Yeah, still processing that one, to be honest.
How is the girl?
Sifu?
I notice she's not with you.
She, took over Clan Rook after, well, Toxis murdered Raj.
Of course. She must be the youngest leader of Clan Rook in 10 generations.
Probably at least. Doing surprisingly well.
She is an impressive girl. Reminds me of someone else I knew at her age.
Raven's gonna blush.
I'm talking about me.
Of course you were.
But she nods. Well, if you'll excuse me, I want to try to talk to Song before we go. If we are going to our deaths, I might as well say what I have to say.
Try not to get shot with the disruptor pistol.
I will do my best. And she'll hug you tightly before she's going to go try and find you, Song. Where are you hanging out right now?
Before she finds me, or when
Yeah.
she finds me,
Yeah.
I would like to have a moment with Stompy if he's here.
Oh, great.
Stompy's just kind of sitting down in a place, tending to his wounds a bit more.
Yeah, and I'll come sit down next to you and take my helmet off. You ready for this?
Always I am.
Yeah, it was a dumb question. You're always ready for shit. So I know that you've been around for a long time, and you're gonna be around for a lot longer time. Taking a AT shot to the chest, I don't know what could take you out otherwise. Did you ever have family? Like a wife or, a little Ewoks walking around or whatever?
Dumplings.
Not not how that works, but
I know.
had parents
I
before I was.
surmised as much.
Well, they're still alive.
Okay.
They live on Kashyyyk. Before I was whisked away by the Jedi to start training. After that fell through, I just kind of drifted, moving from job to job, so never really had time for family.
You want to go back?
Nah, maybe. Never really found time.
No, well, that's a shitty excuse.
Doesn't seem to be time right now.
Well, fair. But after this war is over, you should think about it. This isn't really a question I can ask Aneris. He has too much to the Jedi bullshit pounded into his head.
Thanks.
But you deal with like the the Force and like the light side and the dark side and stuff, right?
I dabble.
Do you think there's anything left of my daughter and Darth Toxis? Do you think that I should try to talk to her before we?
Well, have you felt any of your daughter left in her?
I don't know. This stuff is new to me, but Sifu says she can feel it.
Do you want any more of your daughter to be left in her?
Even if there was, she still has to die for what she did.
That's a choice you're going to have to make. But just because someone goes to the dark side or to the light side doesn't mean they're gone forever. They could always die before they come back.
Does that matter? Death is death.
Just because you die doesn't mean you necessarily are gone forever.
Gotta say, talking to you Jedi types really doesn't help anything. And I just kind of give them a nudge.
Ugh. Don't call me a Jedi. Sounds awful.
It does. They're all pretty bad.
That just sticks in the mud.
And then Katra can show up whenever she wants. We'll just sit there with Stompy.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll approach and sit down on the other side of you, Song, looking out through the large window of the palace wall. Song?
Katra?
If it is true that your daughter is Darth Toxis,
One of them?
I need to ask you, are we bringing back a prisoner or a corpse? Whatever the answer is, I will help you.
Darth Toxis can't leave that ship.
She has to die then.
If Darth Toxis is who she is, yep. And if by some miracle my daughter's still in there, well, she'll die one way or the other anyhow.
She deserves to die, Darth Toxis.
Look at what she's done to the galaxy.
And yet, she seems to think for a moment. Gan Wisla survived by his wife Mia. Sorno Wisla survived by his brother and sister. Luca Wisla survived by no one, the last of his line. Sai Wisla survived by her wife Aiko. Aya Wisla survived by her father Jarka. And Miru Wisla survived by his son of the same name. 6 people who died when I faked my death. I did not intend for a single one of them to die, but it would be a lie to say that I did not know it was a possibility. And I am a murderer just the same. And she nudges the 57 slash marks that you have on your arm. Just as you are a murderer, just the same.
I was a tool. Had you made a different choice, they'd probably still be alive. If I hadn't taken these contracts, they'd still be dead.
You don't know that. But the ugly truth, and this is one that you already know, it's not okay to kill some people and not okay to kill others. You're a murderer just the same, even if the person does need to die. Even if them being alive will hurt others. The one who pulls the trigger or swings the sword is still a murderer. And when we go there to the lady in waiting, you and I will both be murderers again. Sifu will be a murderer, just like us.
You have a point coming here?
Yes, it is. Your daughter is an amazing person. I've only talked to her a few times, and I believe with all my heart that I did what I had to do, that I made the choice that I had to make given what my circumstances were. But when I talk to her, I can't help but feel like she would have found a better way. And that is
Would
someone
have.
that I would lead, or that I would have follow. I would have followed her anywhere.
I'm gonna stand up without looking at her. Seem to think that the only issues that I have with you is the actions you took. But how we own up to the consequences matters just as much.
Yes, I did
Now
not
I'm gonna
put-
leave before I take some actions that your wife wouldn't like.
Let me finish.
I'm gonna start to walk away, but I'll stop after a few paces.
Mm-hmm. To do the things that she's going to do someday, the great things that I believe she will do in this galaxy, she's going to have to get her hands dirty. She's going to have to kill people. And she will be a murderer just the same. But Song, people like you and me, every life we take is one she doesn't have to. And if I spend the rest of my days serving that purpose, I will consider it a life well spent. And she'll hop up. And she will leave.
I'd say I'd leave as once I figured she was done.
Yep. Okay. Unless someone else has something else, the rest of the time is going to pass I don't know, without excitement. All right. 2 hours. Simple 2 hours. Time you've killed 1,000 times over, and yet never like this, because you know what is coming. And indeed, 3 hours on the dot, you see sensors light up as the Mandalorian armada drops out of hyperspace right behind the Sith fleet and begins to open fire. And chaos breaks out overhead as the space battle begins. The Sith seemed somewhat prepared for it. Not to say that they were like waiting or setting a trap or anything, but they knew that they weren't going to just get to sit here forever and siege this planet without something coming for them. And so their rear guard quickly turns and starts to fire back out, and the battle begins proper. It is about this time that just outside the force field, a transport ship drops. It's almost unarmored and very little weaponry on it, but you recognize it. It is one of the Sith ships. It is a transport vessel. And as the gangway lowers, a single ladies' knight is standing there. He is dressed in black training robes with a red belt around his middle, and he wears a half mask, but not your typical half mask that goes across the nose. This half mask comes straight down the middle of the face, hiding the left side of his face. And he stands just outside the force field, looking inward at you. Raven?
So he's just standing there, like, not saying anything?
Yeah. I mean, he's looking at the building right now. You're seeing him on sensors. You're not actually seeing or you're seeing him on cameras. You're not seeing him in person yet. He's just waiting politely.
Put my helmet on and I'm gonna head out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
As soon as
Okay.
people start coming into view, he steps aside on the gangway and motions for you.
So Toxis sent down a ship for us to take up to her.
Mm-hmm.
that screams like it's a trap.
Of course it's a trap.
And I'll walk up to the edge of the force field.
He bows his head politely.
Do y'all get names when you become the,
I am Jack
How long have you worked for Sune?
I do not know who that is.
Well, how long have you worked for who you work for?
8 years.
You known her for that long as well?
No.
Let her know we'll be taking our own ship.
Very well. It is quite a walk back. Would you like a ride?
Nah, we'll manage.
Very well. And he bows. He sets down a transponder on the ground, which will allow you access into the hangars of the Lady in Waiting before he reboards his ship and leaves.
I assume I have a way of getting out of the shield to grab it easily.
I mean, yeah, now that they know that you're there, like, Contra can lower the shield for you to go out.
All right. And this also lets us take any ship. We don't have to go back to our ship.
Yeah, whatever ship you want to take up.
Yep. All right, well, we got an invitation.
You sure
You
using
be
it's a good
alright?
idea?
I mean, yeah, I think it's fine. She wants to face me. She's not going to blow us out of the sky.
Question is, are you going to be okay?
Oh, okay, went out the window a long, long time ago in Eris.
Yo, what a badass move, though, if she did all that and then would have just blown you out of the sky.
Well,
Or
that's
just
why
put a thermal
seafood-
detonator on the ship and then just
we just cut to Darth Toxis. I can't believe they fell for that. Got him!
That's why Sifu's not on the same ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
All right,
you're a pilot,
well.
son.
Your wife have a ship for us to use?
I'm assuming she's standing next to Raven.
Yep, Katsu's right there. She nods. Yes, I'm the pilot.
Well, let's go.
She nods. Yep, she will load you up on a small frigate. It's not the same class as the as your YT-2000. This is a YT-1300. It is an older model than your ship, but it has always been considered an extremely reliable model. It was supposedly famous many thousands of years ago.
As we're flying up, I'd like to address people.
You
All
know?
right, I have two requests when we get there. First is I don't want anyone to fire or act upon her unless she does so first. I want a chance to talk to her before we start what's probably going to have to happen. And no one kills my daughter but me.
Gavin
Kat-
just
Katra,
nodded.
Katra also nods.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't have a gun, so don't worry. I won't shoot.
Don't get fucking smart with me.
She nods. It is your duty. All right. You make your way up, and indeed, as you have this transponder signal, none of the Star Destroyers nor the squadrons seem to harry you any as you make your way towards the Lady in Waiting, the great Vindicator class Star Destroyer. That song you were on only a week ago now. And you make your way into a hangar, notably not the hangar you were in last time. That one is destroyed still.
Under repair.
Under significant repair next time they're able to dry dock somewhere. Currently it is force fielded off because you can't use it. But you were able to dock on the far side of the ship, on the other side of the ship, in the hangar. And as you do, there are indeed a number of the Ladies' Knights waiting for you. 7 of them, in fact, await you, each of them with a lightsaber upon their hip. Some of them have the left sides of their face masked off. Some of them have the right. Each of the masks is kind of an intricate triangular pattern.
Do I see
in
John?
red. No, you do not. He appears to still be down on the planet, perhaps.
Oh, okay. So come on, we're like, y'all know John? We met John down on the planet. He seems like a nice guy.
Does he mean Jock? I think he means Jock. But yes, you all disembark and are escorted through the ship. The ship is Song, you've seen it, but no one else has yet. The ship is a very impressive, if not dated, design. It looks like it was built quite some time ago. No, that's not true. It looks relatively new, although the design, the architecture is old. It looks like it might have been built off old plans. But you make your way through to the various rooms, and you are taken to, finally, a central elevator that is they put a code into and beckon you to enter.
Hey, do so.
I assume everybody does?
Mm-hmm.
Katra, as we're going up, Katra, you see her reach into her jacket and take out 2 pairs of vibro knuckles, which she slips over her fingers. Just being prepared. And the elevator closes, and you ascend up and up and up many floors. It feels like it must be 100 floors until you arrive at the throne room of the lady in waiting.
As we are going, I would like to commit my force power to sense.
Okay. What are you doing exactly? Sorry. Oh, for when you get attacked?
Yes.
Got it. Yep. Okay. Before you is a massive room with a
Wait, do I have to roll for that, or do I just commit it?
You just commit your force die for that.
Oh, cool. Never mind then. Forget the roll.
No. Before you is a massive open room. It has a set of 6 stairs leading up to a raised level of the room. So the room is kind of on 2 different heights. There's the lower section down by the elevator, and then a higher section up. Behind it, at the top of these stairs and a little ways back, you see a throne on which sits Darth Toxis. For those who do not remember, what she is looking like right now is less than ideal.
Great.
No, she does not look great. This is what she looks like, minus the laser blasters on her shoulders. She does not have those. Very little of her body remains. From her right side of her face down, she has 1 eye still remaining, which glows a bright, hateful orange. And then her flesh continues down over her collarbone and down her arm. She has 1 arm remaining that is still human. The rest of her is machine at this point.
Just to make sure it said Raven's force die is still in agility.
Yep. Okay. Behind Darth Toxis, you see the exterior wall. The entire exterior wall of this room appears to be a massive window that sees out over the battle that's occurring behind you. You can see the Mandalorians appear to be doing quite well.
That would be a great time to have a thermal detonator.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be a great time to have a thermal detonator. I agree with that.
Yep.
She will be damned if she's going to lose to a thermal detonator twice.
Yeah.
In the room, there is a catwalk that encircles the entirety of the room, about 15 feet overhead, and there are 2 doors on either side that seem to be leading down a hallway. Flanking Darth Toxis, there are 4 of her ladies' knights, 2 on either side of her.
So to get to her, is there also a catwalk down the middle as well?
There's just a set of 6 stairs in front of you that lead up to her level.
Okay. So there's no hole or pit or anything like that.
No, I mean, you're in the hole. Like it descends down to go towards the elevator.
Gotcha.
So you need to go up into the room.
So the catwalks look down upon us, basically, like high ground.
Yeah, above there's the catwalks up near the ceiling.
So from where we are to where she is, how far is it?
You're probably long range right now. You need to ascend the stairs. That would bring you to about medium range.
Okay, then I assume we all ascend up the stairs, but once we get to the stairs, I'm going to motion for everyone to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take my helmet off.
the base of the stairs.
And I'm gonna approach her.
She watches as you ascend the stairs. She can't smile, obviously, but she seems pleased.
You know, your grandpa used to say that scars built character. He was a very, very boring man.
There is very little left of me to scar, Father.
He makes you the most interesting person I've ever met, though.
I see my sister is not with you.
No.
Will she not be joining us this time, perhaps through a hologram?
To be fair, I kind of thought you might have sent the same invitation to her that you sent to us.
I did. She has not
Well,
taken it yet.
give her time.
I think you're right. I think she will join us in due time. Do you like the gift that I have brought you, Father?
She sent me a gift.
She did send you a gift. Well, she says she has.
I don't think I received it.
Oh, would you have? Look around you, Father. So much anger do I sense in you.
Oh. Yeah. No, that's been there for a long time, Sune.
I know. Anger at the Jedi. Anger at the Mandalorians. Anger at the Hutts. Anger at Mother. And look around you. She points to Katra and to Raven. The leader of Mandalore and the last leader of the Hutts. She points to Anaris. The last of the Jedi. I have brought them all together for you.
You sure it was for me?
Two things can be true at the same time, Father.
Can you feel all of that in me then?
I feel your anger. She betrayed you so badly. She lied to you. She didn't trust you. And it cost you everything.
Not yet.
She seems to tilt her head. No. I suppose not yet.
And I don't mean Sifu either. Sune, I'm sorry for what I was caught off guard the last time that I was here. And you're right, there was a lot of anger. And I didn't know where to direct it. I could have killed Katra. I look over my shoulder. Easily. Several times. Raven too probably would have been a little bit harder, but the more people that I thought about checking off my list, didn't matter. I'd have still felt that same hatred. Now, where the fault really lies is with myself. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what to do about it. But I can tell you, from a life of killing a lot of people, it doesn't go away. You should already know that.
You need to embrace your hatred, Father. It will make you powerful.
And when you eventually take down Revan, and you cure this galaxy, make it so that nobody ever goes through what you went through again, is all of what you're feeling right now going to go away?
She seems a little taken aback by that.
Isn't that the point? To stop the hatred? To finally escape it? Like Zahn did?
She does not like hearing the name Zahn. It definitely fucks with her for a moment. Do not speak my brother's name.
It was my son. And I'm not the one who took him from us.
Disappointing, Father. Twice I have offered my hand to you.
Why do I have to take the offer? Why don't you take mine?
She looks around. It is too late for me.
No, you don't know what I'm offering, though. Not to join us. None of them would have you anyway. I can make the hatred go away, though. No, I can't. But you can.
She sits back in her chair and looks to her ladies' knights. Kill them. And everyone roll for initiative. Excuse me, Robbie, I do need to make a note.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, that was very good. That was really well done.
What was your note?
+2.
To what?
Good question. You'll find out. All right. There are 4 ladies' knights approaching you. They each ignite their lightsabers. Everyone, roll
Initiative.
for initiative. I will allow you to roll whichever is better for you, cool or vigilance.
I wonder if Callie maybe had made a secret relationship meter with your daughter. That...
I would never do that. That would be that would be incredibly petty.
She's still sitting in her throne, though. She hasn't lit her own.
Nope, she is watching.
Okay.
I just want to say I'm super proud of that roll.
All right, so I've got 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 1 and 2, 2 and 1. I need to make a document for this.
Does Triumph do anything in initiative?
Yes, you get to take a extra maneuver on your first turn. All right, put all their HPs up here. All right. So, who has the best initiative? Looks like I've got 3 and 2, which would be the best. So it's going to go villain, hero. 2 and 2. Does anyone have anything better than 2 and 2? Nope. So that's going to be villain, hero, hero, villain, villain, hero, hero. Alrighty. Oh, wait, sorry. Nope, that's not correct. It's villain, hero, hero, villain. Okay.
So it ends on villain?
Yes, it goes villain, hero, 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 villain, hero, hero, villain. So, the 4 ladies' knights each have ignited their lightsaber, and one of them is going to dash forward past Song and is coming right up on you, Raven.
Kind of figured.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck you up.
So I have the dark saber, which gives me an extra. I have 2 black in that because between my armor and the dark saber.
2 black against melee.
Yep.
Okay. Let me get my stats up for my ladies' knights so I know what they actually roll on this. All right. They're gonna roll yellow, 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 green. Yellow, 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 green against purple, purple, black, black, because you have 2 defense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
1 advantage. All right, so he is going to swing down forward, and you throw the darksaber up and catch it. And he's kind of surprised because he was told you don't have any lightsaber training. But you are able to deflect the attack, and he kind of staggers back and holds himself at the ready in front of you. He is going to spend his advantage to give a boost die to his next compatriot. So it is now a hero's turn.
Anyone mind if Raven takes that one?
Go for it.
Okay. I realized I actually goofed my roll with the Darksaber earlier. I'm supposed to have a blue dice in that all the time because it has accurate 1.
Yes, you are.
So should be 3, 4, 5. The blue dice. 2 purple, or does this? What does this go against?
The difficulty is going to be against 2 red. He has adversary 2.
Okay. I think that's right. 5 agility right now. 2 ranks in lightsaber.
So 3
Blue
yellow.
dice from-
Sorry, 2 yellow, 3 green.
Yep, and then blue dice from accurate.
Yep. 5 success and 1 advantage. All right. So your 5 success is going to deal 10 damage. He is going to use parry 3, which is going to reduce that damage by 5. Down to 5 damage on him. He's going to take 5 wounds. And he's also going to suffer 3 strain for that. All right. He takes. So you pull your Darksaber out after throwing it off him. You immediately spin and slash and cut across his gut. He's able to parry it away just a little bit, but it does nick him in the side. And he lets out like, ah! Again, he's still kind of surprised. You weren't supposed to know how to use a lightsaber. Next up is a villain. The second of my villains is going to also rush past Song and is going to go right for Anaris.
Oh, jeez.
Do you have any melee defense?
Let's see. Where would I see that under?
Under your soak.
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay. Yellow, 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 green against 2 purple then. 1 success and 1 advantage. So he is going to run forward his lightsaber, and he is going to slash, catching you across the leg. And that is you can smell some singed flesh as he cuts you, by the way. I believe his lightsaber is crit rating 2, right? No, it is crit rating 1, even better. Perfect. So it's going to deal a crit hit to you. You're going to take 7 wounds. And you're going to take a crit plus 10. There we go. Off balance. You have to add a black dice to your next skill check. Mark down that you have a level 1 crit on you. All right. Up next, we've got 2 heroes back to back.
So it was 7, but I only take 5 because I have 2 soak, correct?
No, he has a lightsaber breaches. No soak.
Okay.
So 7 wounds.
Are we kind of all like bunched together, like kind of surrounded by?
I mean, you're at the base of the stairs. 2 of them have run down the stairs to attack Anaris and Raven. The other 2 are still up at the top where Song is.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go, and I want to use battle meditation on Anaris and Stumpaka. Is he?
Yeah. So for battle meditation, I think you need to roll it because you're going to need to spend a dice to up it to more than 1 target, if I recall.
It says I can use it on number equal to my presence.
Never mind then. Yep, you're good. Go ahead. Stupaka and Anaris. Sounds good.
Let's see. All right, I got a white, so.
Excellent.
Do I need to use 1 white per person? I think is it, or is it just 1 per use?
If it's number of people equal to your presence, then you only need to do it once. So
okay, so
Anaris and Stumpaka add a free success onto your next roll.
Success? Okay.
Yep. All right. And up next, or did you want to move Galvin or anything?
No, because I had to be engaging, so I'd be kind of sticking
So-
with them.
So Galvin, while the battle is beginning, you find calm in this moment, and you drop down and you begin to meditate. And the energies that radiate off you lend Inaris and Stampaka more focus. Another hero, please.
I'd like to go a little bit later, so someone else.
I'll go ahead and go.
All right, Inaris, you're up.
I'm basically gonna try to take one of them down
Okay.
if I can,
Yeah. What are you doing?
using that lightsaber.
Put up.
And then I
Difficulty is
free
2 red.
success, right?
You get a free success, so add a success to whatever you roll. Your difficulty is against 2 red.
And I have to add a black, right?
Yes, you do. For your crit. After this turn, that will be gone. You won't have to do that again.
Yeah, but that doesn't help right now.
No, it doesn't help you right now. That does make it harder right
2
now.
red and
1K.
1K.
So does battle meditation kind of work like inspiration from a bard, where like it's like you kind of apply it to someone and it's like on their next check it like kind of consumes it?
Yeah, on their next check, it consumes it. All right, 3 failures and 2 advantage. One of your failures will cancel out because of the success that you got. So you're not going to hit him, but you have 2 advantage to spend. Again, you may spend that however you wish.
And give it to Stompy.
So Stampaka, you're going to have a free success on this roll and a free blue boost die.
Okay.
All right, do it up, Stampaka.
Isn't it villain now?
Oh, sorry. Was that 2 heroes? That was 2 heroes. All right, villain. This third one is also... No, this third one is going to approach you, Song. And he is going to swing at you.
All right. I am going to use dodge, which gives me a strain and increases the difficulty of the attack by 1.
Okay.
And then because of sense, they have to upgrade their difficulty pool twice. So
Twice.
a
Okay.
total of 3.
3. So normally he would be purple. So we're going to upgrade it once to purple-red, twice to red, and 3 times to red-purple.
That's brutal.
Yeah, sense is really powerful. It's one of my favorite trees.
Yeah, when I had that one, I basically fully upgraded it. Oh, you dick.
All right, so he is going to hit. He also has a triumph, but he also has a despair. Those will cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Which bums me out so much. But he is going to hit you, and he is going to crit on you. It's going to be 9 wounds.
Wait, how does he crit?
He has an advantage, and it's only crit rating 1 on his lightsaber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
You are stunned. You are staggered until the end of your next turn. I got to remember what staggered does in this game.
Yeah, what does staggered do?
Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
I don't know. Probably nothing.
Cannot perform actions. You may
Yeah, see?
still... Wait, you can still take your maneuvers? All right, you can move, and you can do any maneuver, but you can't take an action on your next turn.
Okay, and how much damage do I take?
9.
Does my 5 soak?
No.
Hey.
Okay. Back to heroes.
Do you want to go, Song, or shall I go?
No, go Stompy.
Okay. Stompy's gonna run up, and there's 2 lady knights kind of next to Song right now, right?
Yeah, one attacking, and the other is looking at you, actually.
All right, I'm gonna run up and try to get next to Song and provide him some cover.
Okay.
I'm going to attack and use a Sarlacc sweep. Increase the difficulty of a lightsaber check by 1,
Okay.
and then I can spend 2 advantage to hit additional engaged targets.
Red, purple will be your difficulty. Remember that you have a upgrade from... you have a blue boost die from Inaris and a free success from Galvin.
So it's going to be... And obviously I'm committing my force die for Brawn.
Yep.
So... Yellow, yellow, yellow... Yellow. How much? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. One second. I'm reading about my new cool thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then, so if I use Embrace Your Hate, does that, like, transfer over to the other person if I hit with Sarlacc Sweep with 2 people? It
Embrace
says,
your hate. Read it to me.
spend 1 destiny point and then suffer conflict equal to dark side destiny points. And pool to add equal damage to melee attack.
Yeah. So it's oh my god. Yeah, you're gonna take 9 conflict.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Take 9 conflict to embrace your hate, and you may add 9 damage to the attack.
Okay, but I would also like to use a destiny point to upgrade for an upgrade.
Take 10
Okay.
conflict. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's what the tree does. It's super powerful, but it is very dangerous.
Don't you also have the one ability that allows you to like negate some conflict too?
Yeah, but not 10 at a time.
Well, I can.
You're gonna have to make a hell of a discipline will.
At least a fraction of it.
Well, I'll worry about that later.
You will have to pass a discipline will check against 5 red.
Oh Jesus!
I believe in you.
No, I can't. I can't do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So 10 conflict, and yeah, go ahead and add 10 damage to whatever this hit is.
All right. So normally I have 4 yellows and a green. I get 1 green from Brawn 6. I'm using a destiny to upgrade to 5 yellow.
5 yellow and a green. Yep.
And now I have a blue from
blue.
advantage.
Yep.
Before I have red and purple.
Red, purple is your roll.
Okay. And I have blue, and then all right, here we go.
Oh
my
dear.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you got
Okay.
a despair.
That's not good.
I get a despair to play with. But let's first deal with the consequences of what you just did to these people.
That's 7 win. 7 good job.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be 12 damage just on the attack. Sorry, 11 on the attack. Plus 3 crit or 3 advantage, which you need to activate your Sarlacc Sweep, so you hit them both.
Yep.
Plus 10 damage on the fucking Embrace Your Hate. So, okay. All right. All right, I got this.
Okay.
Stampaka, this whole episode, you have been calm. You truly have. Like, I mean, even in the battle against the Sith on Dantooine, you've handled yourself incredibly well. And as you're standing there, as you look up and you see to your left, you see Aneris get cut, your ally, someone who, even though he's a Jedi, he has proven himself a good friend. And you look up and you see Song staggered and cut. And you hear Sila's words in your mind. Small goals. Simple focus. And you understand in that moment what she's trying to tell you. You understand in that moment what was meant when Espera told you that affection, or sorry, that rather attachment can be a powerful ally as much as a dangerous thing. You feel focus and you embrace your hate for the first time, but with purpose. You understand what you are trying to do, and you lunge forward to protect your friends. And you fuck both of them up. They only have 15th wound threshold. They're both down. You literally jump up there and Song, like, suddenly Wookiee. as this lightsaber axe wielding madman shows up, and somewhere Wookiee Squadron it just like got another member. Like they're freaking out right now. You don't know why. They just blew up like 5 B wings, and they feel really good about it.
I'm just gonna reach up and pat Stompy on the shoulder and go, "Thanks, buddy."
Yeah,
And then walk towards Sune.
I say, we'll handle them.
Sune is just continuing to watch as 2 of my ladies' knights go down. Holy shit. Okay, well.
So as I walk towards her, I'm gonna reach down and take my blaster and my disruptor pistol out, and I'm gonna throw them to the side.
Interesting.
And then I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna kneel right in front of her.
Ah, okay. She is
It's a
kind
bold
of
strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him.
Yeah.
okay. Hold up. Song, I need you to make a I need to know what is your discipline will.
Oh no. Discipline will. That's 2 greens.
Okay, so that's going to be her check is going to be 5 yellow versus 2 purple then.
Can I use a destiny point?
Sorry, I don't know what the T is supposed to be. No, I'm not. 2
Oh,
success, 2 advantage, and a triumph. Song,
Mm-hmm.
she is using sense on you to sense your true motives right now.
Okay.
Do you mean her any harm in this moment?
I do not. If she senses any harm, it would be that I'm willing to harm myself for her.
Interesting. Okay. She nods and just allows you to kneel there for a moment as she continues to watch her ladies' knights fight.
Beat us here. Defeat Revan. Kill the Mandalore, the Jedi, all of them. And what you feel, that hatred that you're trying to get rid of, not going anywhere.
She kind of her cybernetic eye is continuing to watch, but her still humanoid eye glances in your direction.
You need to just let it go.
You don't know what you speak of.
I do. And we can do it together.
Hold up, I gotta scrap 2 of my villains off of here. All right, my last 2 villains are dead. All right, back around to the top of the order.
Did I take any strain from that?
No, you took 10 conflict.
That's fine. And I want to make
boy.
sure I'm playing fair. Did you use your despair for anything?
Yeah, sorry, I meant to do that. As you is there something better I could do that with? I don't want to do that. I had an idea of what I wanted to do with it, but I actually I was going to break your lightsaber, but that seems like a dick thing to do right now.
Please don't.
Despair. All right, let me see what I'm allowed to spend my despair on here. Character's range weapon immediately runs out of ammo. No, you don't have range weapon. Upgrade the difficulty of any allied character's next check. No. Actually, no, I am going to damage your lightsaber. It does still work, though. I only can move it 1 space along the damage track. It is now damaged. You will upgrade all checks with it. So it'll be 1 check harder now when you use it.
Okay.
Yep. That's what she'll use it. Lloyd, you took 10 conflict. That's fine. Is the embodiment of the house on fire meme.
This is fine.
This is fine. All right, back around to the top of the order. Bottom of the order is Katra. And Katra is going to attack the one that is attacking you, Raven. I know you're going to be shocked to learn it. She is
absolutely floored.
Mm-hmm. She is going to use her brawl athletics check because she is, as you told me in her backstory, one of the finest hand-to-hand martial artists in the galaxy. So I built my first martial artist for her.
Aww.
Yeah, there you go. She's a bounty hunter, just like Song is.
You're nothing alike.
Well,
But not as cool.
yellow, 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 green, green versus 2 reds. 3 success and a triumph. Okay. So she is going to start laying into this guy from behind. She uses Vibro Knuckles, which deal damage in stun, which can deal damage in stun, and she's going to choose to. So she is going to inflict 8 strain on him, which is not ideal for him because he doesn't have a ton of strain left to spend. He's up to 11 strain of his 15 maximum. In addition, with her Triumph, she is going to activate her special ability. My hand is yours. And as she comes, she spins him around and kind of uppercuts him. He is wide open for a shot. Raven, you may take a free shot at him.
So, same lightsaber thing as before?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a regular lightsaber attack.
Oh, that's
Oh.
disgusting.
All right, well, that's going to be a crit plus 40. So, yeah, I guess that's oh, wait. Is he just dead? No, he's not dead, but he's almost dead. He's going to spend 3 strain to parry so that he doesn't die here. And he is going to be down to... Oh, boy. He's not doing good, though. Okay. Go ahead and roll a crit plus 40.
Does that include Raven's normal plus 20?
No. Go ahead and roll a crit plus 60. Compromised. Increased difficulty of all skill checks by 1 until the end of the encounter. Cool story, bro.
I don't know that he's going to last much longer because I was going to have Raven go first slot again.
Sorry, I'm just testing something real quick. Yeah, okay. So that 86 is what you rolled. Add your 60 to it. So what's that, 146?
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. So wait, why isn't this working? Crit space at plus 100? Ah, okay. That's how you do it. So it's crit space plus whatever it is. All right, so 146. That is dying, if I recall what that one is. He will be dead at the beginning of his next turn, if I don't spend a dark side point to keep him alive. So congratulations, you have inflicted dying on him. Bleeding out, I think, is the actual crit. The end is nigh. That's what it is. The end is nigh is the name of this crit.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's not good. He's not doing great. Up next is his turn. Oh crap. Up next is his turn.
he's looking rough.
He's not doing good. He is going to... I am going to spend a dark side point to keep him alive because he's not at his wound threshold, so he still can attack. At least I can get something out of him. Status effect dead. That's basically where he's at this point. And he's going to take a swing at you, Raven.
Still 2 black.
Yeah.
Hoping that
yellow,
holds out for me.
yellow, green, purple, black. 5 success, 3 threat, and a triumph. All right, well, he's going to deal you a crit back. He's going to take 3 strain, and at the end of this attack, he's going to pass out. He's going to be above his wound threshold, unfortunately for him. His strain threshold, rather. So he's going to be done after this attack. He is going to hit you for 12 wounds.
God.
No soak.
Yep,
And,
I'm down to 2 wounds.
Yeah, and he's going to crit you right back for a crit plus... did you get crit last time? No, you didn't get hit last time. So crit plus 10. Fearsome Wound. The target increased the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until the end of the encounter. So marked on, you have a level 2 wound. And then he is going to go plump because he is out. Yeah, you see him kind of pass out. As he falls, his mask, because he kind of smacks his face on the ground as he goes down, and his mask breaks away. He has an entirely cyborg face across the whole left side of his body.
Oh shit, did my thermal detonator hit all the ladies too?
Not that you remember.
Oh, okay.
All right, another villain is down. Cool.
Raven's gonna kind of cough up some blood on him.
All right, Hero.
I'll go.
All right, Daenerys, you got the last one in front of you.
And no restrictions this time, right?
Nope, no restrictions this time.
Just straight up yellow, green. Though I think I can use True Grit.
Probably, I think so.
Yeah, let me make sure if I can or not, because I don't want to make the wrong decision here.
I don't know what that ability does, so.
I'm trying to find it on my sheet, and I'm not having luck. Hold on.
Should be on page 3.
I mean, I know the ability Grit, which is it's just a passive ability. It gives you 1 extra wound threshold.
Right, but
Strain threshold.
Strength threshold, I'm sorry. Yeah, Toughened is wound threshold.
yeah, I don't think I can use that. Maybe I'm just trying to look at my abilities and see what's going to help me, so I don't get my.
What force power do you have?
I just have heal and harm right now, but do I really want to take conflict for harming?
I mean, healing yourself also wouldn't be the worst thing since
You know what? You're
fucked
right.
you up
'cause I
last turn.
need to do that because I'm only at 5.
Especially because he goes next.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that.
All right. Lightsaber does a minimum of 7 damage, so you're going to want to at least gain 3 back.
92. Let's see. So I just spend 1 force die to see if it heals me. That's it.
Yep.
No difficulty, no nothing.
Nope. 1 dark side.
Damn it!
Can I interest you in a destiny? You know what? This is a very dark side powerful place. You are literally in the presence of Darth Toxis, one of the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Daenerys, you can do this. You feel angry right now because you got cut, and you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be the shining example that Sifu's going to follow someday. And you're going to let this whelp cut you down? You can heal yourself, and you know you can if you just give in a little bit. What'll it be?
Or die.
I'm going to give in.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Take 8 conflict
Oh, I'm no longer completely light side now.
and heal yourself. Well, no, you don't know that until the end of the session. It's conflict, not morality drop yet. Because you
Right,
could roll a
right.
10 and you'd still gain morality. Heal yourself to full.
Wow!
As you do, you bend this rage that you just felt, and you can almost siphon it in from around you. This anger that's in this place, it radiates off of Darth Toxis, and it is kind of easy to manipulate it and bend it to your own will. You wrest control of the Force, and it is unlike anything you've felt with it before. You've done all kinds of things. You always let the Force flow through you, but not right now. Right now, the Force does as you demand. And, it literally starts to pull your wounds shut. All right. It is their turn, and they're like, what the hell? Did the Jedi just do that? And they're gonna swing at you with their lightsaber. Green, it's against purple. And, yeah, that's it. 5 advantage. He missed. All right. So, he is...
But he gets to heal some strain.
He does get to heal some strain. Yeah. He's going to give Darth Toxis a boost die. That's going to be his turn. He is so in awe of what you just did because he's like, this person's more powerful on the dark side than I am, and I think they're a Jedi. They're not feeling great about that, so they whiffed. Hero's turn.
I'll go.
All right.
I'm gonna leap to the defense of my friend,
Daenerys.
Daenerys, and just try to cut down this person.
Do it up. Increase the so the difficulty is going to be 2 red and a purple.
2 red and a purple. Ugh. Okay.
You roll like 6 yellow. What are you complaining about?
Not to
Well,
say.
It's 4 yellow.
And 2 green. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I put a yellow and a green.
Yeah. Clearly that's on me. You know what? I was the idiot.
Thank you. And I don't have blue, and I don't have the battle of meditation anymore, right?
No, not this time.
Okay, so then just red.
All right. Well, that's going to hit him for 7 wounds. He's not a fan. All right, but he does live. He's not dead. He's okay.
Damn you.
You can pass your blue onto it, and next hero's turn.
Yeah, next blue to the next hero.
Galvin, have you gone yet?
No, that blue's not going to do anything for me.
Finish him off so you can get your Sith tattoo.
Remember, Galvin, you can have M3 heal on your turn. That is something you're allowed to do.
That's what I was planning on doing. Yeah, I was gonna. That's why I said the blue die doesn't really do anything.
It can boost his medicine check.
Oh, can he do a medicine check in combat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He can't.
Yeah.
You can't. He can. He's a
Okay.
medical droid.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
I thought I was
So
gonna have to use the stim. I was like, oh shit. Like,
So that's going to be yellow, 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 blue. I am going to give him a black setback die because it's never mind. He ignores that black setback die. I forgot. Never mind. And a blue. Raven. Ooh, yikes. Raven, go ahead and heal 2 wounds.
Oh, good. I'm at 4.
Better than 2.
You're not wrong.
I'm only at 5.
Yeah.
I'm
Hero's
at 7.
Hero's turn.
Is this the bottom of the round yet? Have all the other heroes gone?
We are at the bottom of the round. Yep.
Okay, so then back to me then.
Have I gone this turn? I don't think
No,
so.
actually, Raven, you haven't gone. Yeah. No, you haven't. You took your free shot, but you haven't gone yet.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. How long does the strain pass out last? Like, do I have to deal with this guy now, or is he
He's
just
out.
gonna-
He's out of combat.
Okay. And there's still one Ladies' Night up, right?
Yep. The one fighting Inaris.
Okay, so switching to my rifle would be in a maneuver, right?
Yeah. Maneuver to switch to your rifle
Okay, so then I'm gonna do that, then take 2 strain
for an extra maneuver.
for true aim,
Okay.
and I am going to blast him. And
You're
I
short-
need to go back to wherever we talked about this, because this roll is ridiculous, and I don't remember how exactly it gets put together.
You're short range, so your difficulty is going to be 1 red, 1 purple right now. He has a defense against range, so it's going to be 1 red, 1 purple, 1 black. It's going to be the opposing check. What is your agility?
5 right now.
5. What is your range light or range heavy? Sorry.
Ranged heavy 4 yellow, and then I get the boost.
Yep, and then you upgrade the check.
Yep.
So you're going to
So
roll
boost die and
5.
an upgrade.
5 yellow, a blue. Sorry, 5 yellow, a green, a blue. No, sorry, just 5 yellow. Yeah, 5 yellow, a green. No, god damn it, Callie. 5 yellow, a blue against red, purple, black. That'll hit.
I can crit with that.
I think you can crit
You can
twice with
crit
that,
a
isn't it?
few
3?
times.
Isn't it crit rating 3?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so roll a crit plus 20 plus your bonus 20 that you have, so plus 40.
Okay, so crit base plus 40. That's how you did it, right?
Crit space plus 40, yep. 130 for a gruesome injury. Randomly roll a D100, so poly 100 for 0. That'd be 100 effectively. So willpower. So his willpower. So the blast goes and hits him square in the back of the head, and he staggers forward, just completely concussed. Actually, what's the base damage on your weapon?
And
Never mind. He's above his wound threshold, so we have to actually add 10 to that because that's going to go over his wound threshold. So it's 140, which
that's
is
nothing good.
probably not anything good.
Did
for
I
him.
dead again?
Yeah, so he's down as well. That's the last of them. They're all down. Cool. So yeah, you blow open a hole in the back of his head, and he goes down. The machine part of him is blown away. The human part still is there. Galvin, you can't help but notice something as you look at this half machine, half person. You once made a design almost just like this. You couldn't ever get it to work, but a long time ago, you had a concept for a cybernetic brain that would help people who had brain injuries, where you'd be able to basically machinate the parts of the brain that were damaged and allow the surviving part of the brain to continue to function outside of it. But you were never able to get it work. You're having trouble recalling some of the details of it. But you do the design kind of like jogs your memory a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. I think I tried to build something like that once. So they're all down. And Toxis looks very annoyed. And she stands up.
Look at me, Sune.
She looks down at you.
Your offer doesn't do anything for either of us. We still hate. We're still in pain. And we need an end to that. Do you remember the last time that you didn't feel that hate or that anger?
You can tell somewhere deep, buried under a lot. Maybe she does.
I'm going to stand up so that I meet her gaze.
She looks hesitantly for a moment.
It's when you were with your family. And they're still waiting for both of us. I'm choosing you. You're my daughter. And I'm going to hold up the syringe that Galvin gave me. I'm told that this will cut us off from the Force. Cut us off from the pain, because that's what started all this, isn't it? You and Zahn were given something that you never asked for and forced to use it. And just like your brother refused, you can too. We both can. And I'm going to inject half of it into myself.
You cannot move. Not even a little bit.
I'm just going to keep my eyes locked on hers while I imagine I am in terrible pain right now.
No, surprisingly not.
Oh.
None of you can move.
Oh,
in fact.
okay.
Well, let me make sure I get enough dark side points for none of you. I did. Okay. Thank God.
Wait, do I not inject it into myself?
No, you can't move.
Oh.
You held it up, and that is the last movement you were able to make.
Did I still get all the words out, though?
Yeah, you're able to get out your words. And she reaches out and takes the syringe out of your hand and looks it over. She looks down towards Galvin. Your design. You're able to talk, Galvin.
Yes.
Song. You can feel something in her that you haven't been able to feel until this moment. Conflict. She goes over and sets the syringe down on the side of her throne. They're coming now. We're going to have quite the reunion. And you watch as the elevator comes up. Behind her, the remaining 7 of her ladies' knights approach.
Oh, what?
But they don't even get particularly close to you before suddenly all of them go rigid and are like wide-eyed in shock, and they are thrown all over the room. And the door opens to the elevator, and Sifu is standing there. Behind her, Grandmaster Vandar is holding his hand up. And he tosses the last of them aside and enters the room with Sifu.
Let me know when I can move again.
I will. I will let you know the moment you are able to. And Toxis glances down. You make this so difficult. And she is going to grit her teeth and tap into that anger that she has let fester for 6 years. Or for 13
Can
years.
I commit a force dice against her?
She's not about to make an attack roll. Not like a normal one. She's about to use a force power.
Okay.
She's going to use the Force is my ally, which allows her to do 2 force powers in a turn. And she is going to use Unleash.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, well, she's going to have to spend a dark side point to do it.
I cast counter spell.
Wow.
God
I'd
damn
just
it.
like to point out that she's channeling a lot of light side.
I have to spend a dark side point to let her do so, and she would take the opposite of conflict. She would actually lose conflict, which actually might end up working in your favor before this is over.
To say, isn't that the point?
It
We're
is.
trying to turn her.
She is going to summon up all the hatred that she can, and lightning is going to erupt from her hands and start arcing across all of you.
Oh no.
I gotta look up how much damage it does because I actually don't remember. Force power, unleash. Where are you at? All right, so she has to make a discipline will check. Yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, that is going to hit everybody for 9 wounds, ignoring soak.
All right, well, Song is unconscious then.
Super unconscious.
All right, hold up. How many people are going unconscious on this hit?
Oh.
I have 3 wound left.
So 1, 2, 3 of you are going unconscious.
I'm still up.
Your Stampaka remains up. Galvin, are you up?
I'm up.
Not bad. All right, so she needs to spend 3 dark side points for this. Holy shit. Glad I had as many as I did. You are all down and winded. You're not unconscious, but you are all down.
Are you sure? I'm at 18 out of 14 wounds.
Nope. I can spend a dark side point to make it so that you don't go down.
Oh, okay.
I also put the wrong number in. Dark side. She has 5 left, not 3. Okay. So, Grandmaster Vandar is able to deflect a lot of it. He gets hit a little bit. Sifu gets electrocuted. She did not care for that. So she lets out a scream of pain. And Toxis just looks a little bewildered, as if she had expected that to do a lot more. Sifu looks at Toxis.
Are we released from that grip from before?
You are. You're currently down and winded, but you're
Mhm.
released. Sifu looks up at Toxis, who she starts taking a few steps away, going out towards where there's a little bit more room. And Sifu ascends the stairs, looking back to Grandmaster Vandar. Come on. We can take her with the 2 of us. We got this. Grandmaster Vandar looks at Toxis, maybe sensing what you're sensing, Song. Maybe sensing something else. And he shakes his head. No. This has always been your destiny, Sifu.
I'm just going to look to Sifu and just plead with her, saying, she's my daughter.
Song, I want you to make a difficulty 2 check on any social skill that you can justify.
Who am I making this check to?
You left that pretty open and vague, so I would say it's to the room at this point. You can do coercion, you can do charm, persuasion, whatever you feel like. Whatever you think makes sense.
It's super great. Everything's basically 2.
Well, if you have a banked upgrade or a thing to spend or a destiny point to spend, now would be a good time.
Yep. What did you say the difficulty was?
2.
So green, purple. I will use a destiny.
And the force is balanced. 6-6.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing else I think I can justify, unfortunately. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Ooh, interesting. As you do this, Grandmaster Vandar ascends the stairs and puts a hand on your shoulder as if trying to comfort you. Sifu doesn't hear you. She ignites her lightsaber and stands across from her sister, having seen this moment, knowing it was her destiny, having heard from Grandmaster Vandar that it would be. But Suneazi does hear you. And as she finds herself standing across from her little sister in a completely role-reversed situation of what she once faced herself, watching the younger sister knight her blade, desperate and unsure of what to do. She doesn't have it in her. And she extinguishes her blade. And Sifu looks bewildered. This is not what she saw happening. What are you doing? Are you going to fight me?
Can Raven speak?
Yeah, you're all capable. You're not under the bind anymore. You're all capable of speaking.
Raven's gonna look up at Sifu. Don't lose yourself in the pain.
She just looks confused. Like, I thought you wanted this. I'm here. We're going to fight. And Toxis shakes her head. No. I won't.
I use sense on Toxis.
You may. Go ahead. You want to use your take your conflict and spend your destiny point?
I do.
All right.
How much conflict is that?
Just 1.
Okay.
It's only 1 pip. Is this for dark side or light side? That's for dark side. So it's going to go up to 7. This is going to come down to 5. Yeah, you sense her. You feel good in her for the first time since you have seen her.
So this isn't a ruse.
No, that conflict has begun to just bubble over. When she saw her little sister standing there and she realized that she was literally in Zahn's position from years ago, she couldn't do it. She couldn't commit. She couldn't put what happened to her onto her sister. And she shakes her head and just tosses her lightsaber aside.
It's over, Sifu. You did it.
She turns and looks to Grandmaster Vandar. Then it didn't come to pass. Vandar nods as he approaches. What a disappointment. And he ignites his blade through her chest. A brilliant red lightsaber coming out. Do not move, girl. She's choking. Don't move. I haven't hit any of your organs yet. He looks over at Toxis, who is wide-eyed in disbelief. The biggest disappointment you have been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He is going to use Unleash on her and just rear back and blast her with Unleash. It doesn't hit any of you. It's all focused on her. And she goes rigid and stands up as parts of her cybernetics just begin to explode out of her. And she finally just collapses back onto the ground as the cyborg eye explodes in her head.
I'm going to run over to her.
Hang on to that, because she is not dead at the moment. So hang on to that. She goes down, and Sifu is still just choking as she has a blade through her. And standing there, he looks up at her and nods, and he begins to change. Slowly growing, getting taller. His skin fades to a milky white. Facial hair appears a stately beard and mustache. Soon he stands about 6 feet tall. Anaris, you are looking at your master.
Son of a bitch.
Suka Undrel, Darth Revan.
Does he look the same as the Revan that I would possibly recognize, or he looks completely different?
Nope. He doesn't look anything like the Revan that you saw on
Okay, that's what I figured. I just figured I'd double check.
No, you're correct. He doesn't look anything like that. Dolvik with the dramatic music drop. Thank you. He nods and looks around. Oh, Anaris. Grand Master of the Jedi Order. What a joke. Interesting.
And you think I have anything to listen from you?
No, I don't care what you have to say. You were a failure then, and you're a failure now. He looks at your Padawan. She's the proof. All right. Well, this has been a most expensive day. I have lost my apprentice. I have lost my apprentice in training. Now, I propose a trade, and I will be on my way. He starts to maneuver Sifu down the stairs towards the elevator. She moves very cautiously, given the lightsaber through her. You get the girl. And he looks to M3. I get the droid. You were clever to lie to me. Took me a while to realize it.
Kelvin.
Without hesitation.
Perfect.
M3. Go to him.
Statement. Master, I do believe that would be very dangerous.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, take your time. Big decision moment. Someone will remember this. Thank you, Sarah. Perhaps a little more. He kind of moves the lightsaber a little bit, and she lets out a bit of a scream.
Kelvin will get the robot back.
Yes.
Statement. Master, I still have the ability to detonate kyber crystals across this galaxy. And he kind of laughs at that. Ha! You think too small.
Go.
I need to make a... Ooh, interesting. Okay, so he begins to walk. I need to make a discipline check? But I need to see what her discipline is.
What is Sune doing during all of this?
She is laying on the ground. You're
Okay.
going to deal with her in a moment. She is not doing so good.
Her cybernetics were basically all destroyed.
Yeah, a lot of... She exploded a couple times. Okay. I need to look up what your will is. Specialization skills. That's better than I thought it was.
Jesus Lord.
Okay. She passes. In that moment, as she sees the droid begin walking across, she makes a decision herself and tears herself off the lightsaber. And Darth Revan looks fucking stunned as she staggers and falls to the ground, kind of clutching at her side. And he growls and glares.
Shoot him!
And he looks at you, Song, and he's going to fire some lightning at you. I will allow someone else to make a shot at him.
Yes,
Raven,
please.
Raven, if you want to take a shot at him. I need to get his stat block up.
I'm going to use dodge, and sense is still going, so that's 3 difficulty upgrades.
Do I still have... I'm assuming I don't have aim anymore?
No, you don't. Not this. This is a lightning quick shot.
Okay, so that's just 5 yellow, I think.
He is adversary 4,
Oh,
so you're
4
gonna have to
yellow
upgrade.
and a green.
You're gonna upgrade your check 4 times. So from this, you're at medium range, so that's gonna be 2. Your roll is gonna be 2 red, 2 purple against him.
Use a destiny dice. We have 5 of them.
Yeah,
you sure
what
do.
is...
The end of the
Very
episode.
dark here.
Yep, so Destiny Dice is an upgrade, right?
Yep.
That is... Can I count? I can count. Okay.
All right. so
Ooh,
this is
that's a
gonna be-
lot of strain, but...
That sure is a lot of strain. And then I'm going to do my roll as well. So they're gonna happen simultaneously.
Does this force power count as an attack?
No, it doesn't actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's gonna fire his force lightning right at you, Song, as the blast hits him. And 2 things are gonna happen simultaneously. He takes the blast. What's your damage on that, Raven? That's gonna be 14.
Yep.
He's got a soak of 4, so that's gonna be 10
Wait,
wounds for him.
yeah, 14.
No, he's got a soak of 6, so that's gonna be 8 wounds on him. As his lightning goes out, and Song, you kind of flinch a little bit as the lightning comes at you, and it stops right here in your face. You can see it arcing and almost touching you, but just not. And you look down and you see Sune Ozzy holding her human arm up still. And for just a moment, you watch as that orange eye turns bright, brilliant blue again. And she rears back and hurls the lightning back at him. And he is blasted back into the elevator. And he goes down. He's going to book it the fuck out of there. Quick situation check. Sifu is on the ground. She is alive.
Raven is diving at Sifu with a stim pack.
And seeing that, I'm gonna run to Sune.
Okay. Let's do Sifu first, because I think Sune will be more powerful. We're gonna do Sifu first. She needs more than a stim pack. She got a big hole cut in her. M3 walks over and glances down, looking over the situation. Analyzing. He looks to you, Raven. Statement. If I put her under, she may not wake up. Hold her still.
Raven will hold her with as much motherliness as she can muster up.
Yeah, and this is also, to be clear, hold her still because he's about to operate on her while she's conscious. So he's going to get to work on that. We're going to see. I'm going to assume it's okay for him to borrow a light side point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's also going to spend his banked upgrade. So 4 yellow.
Raven's gonna like pull off like something that's strapped onto her armor and give her like that to bite down on.
Oh, I like that. All right, great. He needs to keep consciousness, so that's not black, that's a blue.
Black starts with K.
Black starts with K. Perfect. All right, excellent. So he is operating on her, and he is going to begin trying to patch her up. While this is happening, anyone who looks over at Tsuneyazi sees the ruined remains of Darth Toxis. The body is mostly destroyed at this point. There's not a whole lot left. And the little bits that you can see of her flesh are pretty charred and not looking so good. That's what you all see. Except for you, Song. You see a 13-year-old girl. She wears black training clothes, the clothes of a Sith acolyte, one who has not yet passed. And she has her bright blue eyes still, her black hair. She looks a lot like your mom, or like her mom, rather. And she looks up at you, tears streaking down her cheeks. Father,
Alo Gizka.
I did something horrible.
That's okay.
I didn't want to. I promise.
I just start patting her head, holding her in my lap.
Don's dead. I killed him.
That's okay. You're gonna go and see him now. All right?
Please forgive me.
It's all right.
As you're holding her, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Look up at it.
Boy's about 18. Looks a lot like you at 18. A lot like you. Zahn nods down at you and smiles. He kneels down, looking at his little sister, whom so long ago he made a choice to save, knowing full well what it would cost him. And he reaches for her hand. She looks apprehensive, like she doesn't deserve to take it. She looks to you for permission.
I take her hand and reach it up to his. I'll try not to be too much longer.
He pulls her up to her feet, and they hug, embracing tightly for a moment. Before Zahn looks to you and gives a simple nod and a smile. One that says, not too quickly. And they both fade. And Darth Toxis and Tsuneyazi die. Redeemed. Meanwhile, M3 looks to you, Raven, and nods. She'll be all right. She needs time to rest and recover. This is not a 2-day recovery. This will require time. But she is through it. She will live.
I'm gonna make sure that I recover my weapons,
You may go pick up your weaponry.
as well as Sune's lightsaber.
Sune's lightsaber is, she tossed it aside, but you're able to go pick it up. Mm-hmm. It is, as you hold it, you see it is a black steel lightsaber. It doesn't look like Well, it doesn't look like a typical Sith lightsaber. It looks definitely like something she constructed. You can see flickers of your daughter's stylistic choices in it. But you make it over, and Sifu has long since passed out from pain. She has had a bad day.
Also, going to make sure to pick up that syringe as well.
Yes, you may pick up the syringe. It is on the throne. And as you look out the window, you can see that, indeed, the Mandalorian fleet is on the verge of emerging triumphant at this point. Some of these Sith ships, maybe having gotten word from Darth Revan, have begun to turn, and some of them are beginning to jump into hyperspace as they take off.
I head down to where Sifu is then, and if she's as stable as she can be, I'm going to pick her up.
Mm-hmm. Right now, Katra and Raven are kind of supporting her, but I assume when you approach, when you approach, they will hand her over.
As Song walks by, I just put my hand on her shoulder and I'm sorry, I hesitated.
No, you did everything that you could. It's fine. You're fine, Galvin.
M3 as you know, he's very dangerous.
It's fine.
Yeah. You all descend down the elevator, back down towards the hangar bay.
As we're descending, not looking at anyone in particular, but I just say, someone call John, see if he can come pick us up.
In the moment, everyone could use a little lightheartedness, I feel like. M3 goes, statement. Ha 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 ha. You all descend down, and there await. You see both the Razorback and the King's Castle, Raj Rook's former ship. Although I guess now it'd be the Queen's Castle.
I had something I wanted to do before we left.
Please, what would you like to do?
The technology that I recognized, I wanted to see if I could salvage it to take back with me and study.
Yeah, absolutely. So you, one of the destroyed people, they're not doing great. You're able to cut a little bit of it away with one of your Jedi friends is able to cut you a piece of it away. At least you can study it. And you make your way. You take it with you. You'll be able to explore it a little bit in the downtime between episodes 2 and 3.
So there are other like Mandalorians up here then, I assume now?
Some people have been invading the Lady in Waiting.
Okay.
It is they're
You said we pretty much won the battle at this point, right?
Yeah, the battle's pretty much over at this point.
Then
A lot of the Sith ships are starting to retreat.
Yeah, find someone and basically tell them to go up and to bring Darth Toxis' body onto the Razorback. You see Mandalorians starting to flood in here. It'll be a while yet. There's still a lot of battle to fight on here because obviously the Sith are going to fight to the last man. I just want to make sure that it doesn't get left is all.
Yeah, eventually they nod. They'll be like, yeah, we'll be able to. We'll get it from you. Mandalore, what are our orders as far as the Lady in Waiting goes? If we're able to, we've managed to disable the engine, so she's not going anywhere. Do you want us to keep her or destroy her?
We're gonna need every ship we can get.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just the outer rim.
Yes, ma'am. And they go to work as you return to the Razorback into the Queen's Castle.
Yeah.
And you guys...
Potentially important note, Katra is basically carrying Raven at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Katra's doing pretty okay. Raven, less so. You get onto your ships and blast off, descending back down to Nal Hutta, where there will be one hell of a celebration. As the Sith fleet has been turned away from the Outer Rim and is currently making for Terrace to jump back to the Inner Rim. Let me think if there's anything else I need to cover in this episode.
Well, I think I kind of need to explain who Revan is and why I recognized him so quickly.
Yeah, I would think that would make sense.
He introduced himself as Revan, or did he say he was Revan?
He did. He said he was Darth Revan. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember if he actually had said it or not.
So I guess while we're going down to Nal Hutta, or on our way to Terrace, I would say. I'd just gather everybody in the common area.
Mm-hmm. Sifu is resting in the med bay. She's going to be there for a bit.
Oh yeah, well, we can tell her later. This isn't going to be easy to tell any of you.
Well, today's the day.
It definitely is the day. We've all had our moments, but when we were back on Korriban, and, Stompy and I tried to kill each other, he saw his master, but what you all don't know is I saw exactly the same thing as him, only it was my master. When I was still a Padawan in training, before I did the trials to become a knight, he abandoned me on a mission in the middle of nowhere because I decided not to go his way. He hungered for that darkness. He hungered for the dark side. I couldn't follow him. To this day, the master that took me in wouldn't tell me where he was, where he went. I could never sense him, almost like he was blocking me or possibly dead. And now, for the first time in over, I don't know how long it's been, I saw him alive, calling himself Darth Revan, though that's not his name. And as far as I know, I won't even speak his name because he's dead to me. It's going to be tough. But we've made it this far. I don't see why we can't take care of him as well.
Oh, we've still got a lot of killing left to do. I promise you that, Daenerys.
Well, I'll leave the killing to you.
If you'll excuse me, I have to make a call. And I'm going to head up to the cockpit.
I swear to God, if you call Isle of the Hut and tell her something bad this time, I'm going to... No. Go on. Who do you want to call?
So I don't know how this is going to work, but yeah, I'd like to reach out to Isla.
I'm genuinely uncertain she would take your call. What is the message
Well-
you are sending?
I'm just reaching out. I'm just trying to call directly to whatever line I might have. Not trying to mask or anything. She would know it's coming from Song.
You go to voicemail, effectively. She does not take your call.
All right. Just had some information for you, Isla. Thought you might wanted to know. Dark Toxis is gone. And I'm coming for you next. And then I hang up. Counting that as a win if she refuses to take my call, that's a win.
I mean, that's as good as cutting her off, right? Like that's
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
really worth a point.
She
no
sees
matter what.
if she sees Song Bizzle and goes, no, thank you. Yeah,
Fuck that guy.
I won. I
yeah,
won.
you live rent free in her head now. Congratulations.
Yep.
All right. So a couple things are going to happen here that are going to end this episode. A massive celebration breaks out on Nal Hutta. Not only is this the first major victory for the Mandalorian Armada and what has become colloquially called the United Peoples of the Outer Rim, but this...
Or Upo, as some people like to call it.
Yeah, Ooper. But this also has marked one of maybe the last incursion into the Outer Rim by the Sith. They lost a lot of ships, and it will take them a while before they are ready to try to move into the Outer Rim again. That said, your losses were not insignificant. You lost a good bit of your fleet too, probably nearly half of it. It was one of the most brutal battles in the history of this galaxy, and your victory was won at no small cost of people who will need to be honored. But it is a victory nonetheless, and a major one. So the celebration is going on that evening, and Daenerys, as you are just kind of taking a moment to enjoy yourself, familiar presence approaches you as you sit on a bench on Nal Hutta, Rhea Jax appears next to you. She kind of smiles knowingly in your direction. You do not... you never cease to impress, Anaris Eldon.
And what have I done today that has made this?
She kind of raises her eyebrows and motions around. You and your friends, an impressive bunch. I was correct when I chose you to have my crystal. And in that moment, Anaris, your crystal ignites, a brilliant green light emitting from it. It is now fully attuned and can be used in your lightsaber at your will. If you have a pencil and paper, I will, or something to write on, I will tell you what the stats are on it. Your Padawan had every chance today to fall to the dark side, to succumb to darkness. And it was only through your teaching, Song's compassion, and Raven's wisdom, Tempaka's realism, and Galvin's caring that she did not. The true mark of a great teacher is being willing to ask others for help. And she watches as you take your crystal, which has the following attributes. It is damage 9.
Ooh.
Crit rating 1. Breach 1 and Sunder. Whenever you do a force power roll, you may spend extra force points that you generate to heal 2 strain each. On yourself or on others.
Did 2 extra?
You may, any extra force points you roll, so if you activate your power with your force point, you still have an extra force point to use, you may use that to heal 2 strain on either yourself or an ally who's engaged with you.
Okay.
That is your fully completed lightsaber. It is a very powerful lightsaber. When you use it, it will fire up a brilliant emerald green, which is the same color as Rhea's was.
Fantastic.
She smiles at you. When she is ready to travel again, when it is safe to do so, you must go to Ossus. There you will find the last legacy of the Jedi and the only hope for their future.
We can use all the hope we can get right now.
Only you and Sifu may go.
That's going to be a little difficult after what we went through, but we'll do it.
It is of vital importance that you do. Be prepared. You will not encounter hostility there, but you will be challenged, and there will be much to learn. Galvin, as you're all celebrating, you've had a few drinks now. It's a night worth of drinking. And M3 approaches you in the evening and says, Query, Master, would you really have given me to him? Statement. I am a droid master. I cannot be upset.
M3. My initial instinct was to do it with no hesitation. But I know the information you carry And clearly, as him taking the name Darth Revan, he has some obsession or need to know more about his namesake or whatever he was working on in the past.
Statement. Then it would do well for us to learn first what Darth Revan worked on in the past so that we can be prepared for it.
I am 3.
Master, I have been looking at the data chip that you brought back.
Mm-hmm.
The code on it, 61. Sorry, I'll bring it back up because I don't remember what it was. The code 616D617261.
Do you know what it means?
I've run it through many encryption cracks, and I think I have determined what it may actually stand for. If first converted into hexadecimal and then binary strings, it would spell out Amara.
Galvin just goes wide-eyed at that and just freezes. Are you sure about that?
I do understand how math works, yes. Query, do you understand how math works?
You know, I don't know some days.
Statement, I understand. It is the failing of you meatbags. Your flesh sacks do not always work as you wish them to. My parts always work as I wish them to, except for when Song shoots them.
But the nice thing about you is you go back together really easily.
Statement, I am grateful for that. It is a wise design choice. You meatbags do not go together so easily.
True enough.
Song, later that evening.
I stay with
Yeah.
Sifu unless somebody literally pulls me away.
Yeah, no. No one does. Not tonight. It
Does
is
Ozzy
late.
come in at some point?
She does. She comes in to check on her niece.
I give her the rocket canister.
She looks at it like, what is this for?
Or a jetpack.
I already built your jetpack. She looks at it like, this might work better. One sec. And she goes to leave to work on it more. Sifu awakens after a while. And she looks over at you wearily. It's been a rough day for her. She nods.
Swamp rants are resilient creatures.
Lucky me. Is she gone?
She's with her brother now.
Good.
It's because of you.
No.
No, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Father.
If you wouldn't have been on the Lady in Waiting that first time when I tried to blow her up, I probably wouldn't have gotten off of that ship, but I would have went into it the same way, guns blazing. You saved your sister.
So did you.
Yeah, probably
There
about 60-40. My way, of course.
She laughs. And then grunts because, it hurts to laugh. Laughing is not good right now.
Don't worry, that's weakness leaving the body.
Yeah.
Your grandpa used to say that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't like Grandpa's sayings.
How many people did?
She smiles. I'm glad you're my father.
Well, you have 50 or 60 years to regret it.
She nods. Yeah. I'm sure I will. I'm gonna sleep now some more. I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And she falls back asleep. Stampaka, when you land, you are met by the most enthusiastic and raucous applause that you have ever heard as 6 Mandalorians wearing helmets that have like Wookiee paint done on them to make their helmets look like they're like a Wookiee's head, come running up to you, cheering you on.
I just let out a giant Wookiee roar.
Wookiee Squadron all does it simultaneously with you, and then drags you away because you're not paying for a drink ever. It's like the party on Jakku was legendary. This is going to make that look like a kid's birthday party. And it's going to be a late night of partying and hanging out, and one of them lets you know that they serve you.
I just laugh. You guys can go wherever you want. But if
They
you
nod.
follow, but you can stay with me if you want.
They nod and salute. They will. Stampaka, you can't help but feel, as you think back to what happened with Sifu and what happened with Raven and Galvin and Anaris and Song, even Katra to a little extent. You're starting to understand what Sela and Espera meant about attachment and how it can be valuable. Raven, away from the party, you find Katra sitting over one of the edges of one of the walkways, just looking up into the sky. You can still see starships that were destroyed in the battle, but they're still breaking apart and drifting away from each other. It's quite a sight from the ground. You just see her staring up at them as you find her.
Sit down next to her.
Kind of leans against you.
Oh. Raven will lean in too.
She smiles at you. Well, this is a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was a test. I'm not surprised at all. I knew you would win.
Yeah. You've always had more faith in me than I have.
Well, one of us has to. Kind of smiles. I cannot continue to run Crimson Dawn. I did it in the short term because we needed the allies. But it is not my place. You need to figure out who is going to run this organization and put them in charge.
Don't suppose you have recommendations?
I think Song would be good at it personally. I don't know if he will take it.
About my thought?
Well, I must ask another favor anyway, and I need Song for it. I'm going to go with him, and I'm going to kill Isla the Hutt.
Raven just looks kind of like not really surprised, but also a little bit surprised.
Because if I do not kill Isla the Hutt, if we do not kill Isla the Hutt, then Sifu will have to one day. And I promised him I would not let that happen.
Wish I could come too.
I know. I don't know how long it will take, but we will come back. Hopefully. She seems mostly certain that she'll make it back.
One of us will. You just set up the worst buddy cop Star Wars spinoff in history. Fans on both sides of the spectrum hate it.
No one's happy about this pairing.
The only people who love this movie were people who have never seen a Star Wars movie before.
She nods, and then and looks to you.
Michael Bay directed it.
I have no doubt. She smiles. But that is for tomorrow. Tonight, well, she's going to pounce on you, and we're going to fade to black.
Oh my god.
Fair enough.
Bleh.
This episode ends where it begins. Because that is... No. Sorry. I do have one more bit left. On Jakku. Elsewhere. On Jakku, where you've left a small, nigh meaningless squadron of Mandalorians, only there to basically run the place in case you need to retreat back. It's, less than 100 people. One of them steps out as a TIE fighter begins to approach them. It's in bad shape. This TIE fighter is not doing well. It's on fire. It looks like it just barely escaped a firefight. And they're deciding whether or not to blow it out of the air. Ultimately, they decide, it's a pretty damaged TIE fighter. It's probably not going to be able to do much. And it comes down and crashes into the Jakku desert. And inside it, as they go to explore, they find a girl who sits up in the wreckage. She's injured. She does not look good at all. And she grabs one of them and says, I need to find Galvin Sidris. Star Wars. That's the end of the episode.